Cash prize awarded in the categories of African heritage hairstyles, fashion design, and fine art. Bring the whole family for horse rides, the Kids Zone, a Corvette car and bike show, and more. Tickets are on sale now, plus there are discounts for seniors and youth. Credentialed veterans and kids 7 and under are free. Black Arts Fest, MKE, Saturday, August 1st at the Summerfest grounds. Get your tickets now at blackartsfestmke.com. And for more info, follow Black Arts Fest MKE on Facebook.
When a warrior faces adversity, he fights through it. He finds a way. Freedom isn't free. Rolling strong. Belief. Believe you can, and you will.
Wheelchairs for Warriors provides mobility solutions to veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Join the mission and visit wheelchairsforwarriors.org.
I always had to be so good, no one could ignore me. Carve my path with data and drive. But some people only see who I am on paper. The paper ceiling, the limitations from degree screens to stereotypes that are holding back over 70 million stars. Workers skilled through alternative routes rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time for skills to speak for themselves. Find resources for breaking through barriers at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
Here's the deal. We gotta set ourselves up. See, retirement is the long game. We gotta make moves and make them early. Set up goals. Don't worry about a setback. Just save up and stack up to reach them. Let's put ourselves in the right position. Pre-game to greater things.
Start building your retirement plan at thisispretirement.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
For 75 years, the Muscular Dystrophy Association's voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
For 75 years, we've willed the impossible into existence.
For 75 years, the MDA community has pushed the science,
shifted the narrative,
and established the field of neuromuscular medicine.
And until that day, when this is all a thing of the past,
you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
Milwaukee Black Talk lives here on 101.7 FM and 1510 AM, W269DL Milwaukee, and WGKB Waukesha.
101.7 The Truth. It's your girl Jazz Tyler. Happy Friday, Milwaukee. It has been an amazing week. I hope that you all have had an amazing day thus far. Once again, thank you so much for tapping in. I am your host, Jazz Tyler. Be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, 101.7 The Truth. Follow us on social media at 101.7 The Truth, as well as tap in MKE on Instagram and Facebook. Today, we will be joined by someone who is my community brother, someone who has been very, very instrumental in assisting not just the youth, but just the people of Milwaukee, none other than Von Mays. And we're going to tap into some programming as it pertains to the youth. Talk about these elections, jobs that needs to be created for the youth, programs and opportunities, all of the above. Before we get into that, I just kind of want to cover some of the things that we have been discussing this week, with one of them being the police shooting in Madison. As that story continues to unravel, we will follow that closely. But allegedly, the brother who was assassinated up there did not indeed have any type of weapon, based off of some of the information that some witnesses had. My thing in this is, why isn't Madison police officers required to wear body cams? That's what I'm not understanding. This is the state capitol. This is where all of the laws and legislation is being done. And I can't understand for the life of me, if the crime rate has been increasing in Madison, why aren't the officers required to wear body cams? This is something that should be looked into. This is something that needs to be done as soon as possible, and we'll continue to pray for his family and his loved ones as well. Tapping in with Nolan Wells. I've been following this story for quite some time, for the past couple of weeks, and every day there is something new. Yesterday and today, the official 911 call has been released. A lot of claims have been made regarding the youth who were his quote-unquote friends who made the call, stating that they were in panic because the boat was shipping and so on and so on. But once you actually take a listen to the video of the audio call when they contacted 911, there was two different callers on this line. The first caller seems like he was all over the place. He did not sound frantic whatsoever. I'm just giving my own personal opinion based off someone who has been on cruises and boats. If the boat was actually sinking, not saying that it didn't, I feel like he would have panicked a little bit more. The second caller that got on the line was rude, kind of disrespectful to the 911 dispatcher. There was moments where you can hear silence, almost as if they were having side conversations in the back to get the story straight. The 911 operator did a good job by asking for specific information, such as the GPS coordinations, and so on and so on. But again, you have to go and pull up this video yourself and take a listen, because to me, it does not sound like someone who is in fear of their life or someone who is afraid of drowning on that boat. There also has been videos and footage coming out. I'm sorry, not videos, but information coming out stating that Nolan was fully dressed when they discovered his body. But then they are saying that that's not true, that he wasn't fully dressed and that he only had on his swimming trunks. And this is a huge part inside of the evidence. So, again, we have to continue to pay attention to this. The DA office from that city in Mississippi stated that they will not be making any type of statements or releasing any type of evidence until this case is presented in court with the grand jury, which will then take place later on this year. So imagine what his family is going through. Imagine what his loved ones is going through. All of this information that's coming out rapidly. His mother also mentioned she has not had any type of communication or have been contacted by the police department for the past 2 weeks. They will not have any type of conversations with her. They will not answer any questions either. Now, I'm no lawyer and I don't know the law. I imagine that when there is cases like this that are happening, that law enforcement has to abide by laws as it pertains to evidence. However, the humane thing would be to be in communication with the family, to let them know that you're going to get to the bottom of it or whatever the case may be. I'm not sure, but just from experience and working with families who have been in similar situations, 9 times out of 10, the detectives typically reaches out to the family, checks on them, provide them with updates, so on and so on. And apparently the past couple of weeks, that has not been the case with Nolan's parents. They have not been able to obtain any type of information, let alone have been contacted by the police department. Again, I feel like this is extremely difficult to watch for those who are listening. If this is a trigger, I do apologize. But as I stated yesterday, we want to make sure that when we have situations like this inside of our communities, that we are properly utilizing our voices and our platforms to bring as much awareness to it, not just because we want to be nosy or because we're invested emotionally, but because some of us have young Black men in our lives, whether it's a son, whether it's a nephew, whether it's a friend, a godchild, whatever the case may be. And this, again, happens far too often. So if you have not been following the case, I ask that you do follow this case as much as you can. Pay attention to what's happening in America. Again, this is not just the first time that this has happened, and this is not the only case. There are so many similar cases when it comes to the Nolan Wells situation, where a lot of young Black men have been found hanging from trees mysteriously or hanging out with friends, and then all of a sudden they wound up deceased. So again, we have to pay close attention to what is happening, how this plays out. I want to personally shout out Nancy Grace because she been on they butt. Okay, they done woke sis up out of retirement. She been chewing these people out, okay, like a Sunday meal. Nancy Grace did not come to play no games. She's also had some very important people come on and do some interviews regarding their expertise and their opinions on this case. And I know yesterday we touched on, again, this is a trigger warning. We touched on the fact that when his body was transported from Mississippi to D.C. to have the independent autopsy done, that his stomach and his throat was missing. And one of the guests that she had explained that when it comes to the throat, it can dictate whether or not he drowned, but also if there was strangulation, if he was strangled to death. The stomach can also provide evidence pertaining to substances, if there were any specific substances found inside of his intestines, bloodstreams, whatever. What did he eat? All of that stuff. Also, recently today, there has been a new discovery as far as who exactly he was in communication with before he even got on the boat. And it was a young lady, and she was a European young lady. She was a white young lady. And her story apparently is not matching the initial story that she gave. Initially, she said that he went on the boat and left with the rest of the fellas. But apparently now she's saying that he did not. I'm sorry, they said that he did not get on the boat. Now she's saying that he did get on the boat. And when you go and look at some of the comments she has made publicly, she seems very not taken back or taken away by the situation. I could be wrong, but it doesn't look like someone who is mourning someone that they just spent time with the same day that they were found deceased. So with that discovery, amongst a new video and photos circulating of apparently, I don't know if it's real, allegedly, because we all know that technology has a way of making something look real and it's not, but I believe the photos are real. Allegedly, there's photos of Nolan laid out, deceased or unconscious, on the beach. And there's two gentlemen, one specifically who is standing over him. And apparently whoever has these videos, the videos show that he was being beaten or that he was being assaulted. So again, as this story unfolds day by day, I will continue to follow it. I will continue to dig in it as much as I can. And if you are a parent who has a black boy or a black girl, protect them by any means. Protect them. I say it all the time. I stay in my children's business. I want to know who their friends are, who the friends' parents are, what kind of car they drive, the license plate, do they got insurance, what school did they go to, where do they live at? I need to know everything. Doesn't matter how old they are. At this grown age, at 38, I still find a way to keep my parents updated on everything inside of my life, right? We have to make sure that we are protecting our youth, but most importantly, we have to make sure that we are teaching them and raising them up to understand that, yes, it is okay to have a diverse group of friends or associates. But when you become friends with certain ethnicities, you need to understand that you are not entitled, that you are not privileged, that the same thing that applies to them does not apply to you. These are things that oftentimes when we put our children in a different environment, amongst a different culture, that they don't become aware of. And it has nothing to do with, because I do remember a comment made yesterday in the chat stating that the mother said she didn't want to raise her son to be a racist. Racism is a system first and foremost. And I believe she was talking about prejudice, but it has everything to do with that as far as the situation, but it doesn't have anything to do with the fact of how you raise your child. You want them to be informed as much as possible, especially living in a city like that, a state like that, and just the overall country and the state that we're in as a people. We have to go to break to pay some bills. Do not touch that dial. It's your girl, Jazz Tyler, 101.7 The Truth.
Hi, this is Sherwin Hughes from 101.7 The Truth, and I want to talk to you about something bigger than just buying a house. I'm talking about building a legacy. Owning a home isn't just about four walls and a roof. It's about giving your kids a place where memories are made, where birthdays are celebrated, and where they always belong. It's about planting roots, knowing your neighbors, waving from the porch, and being a part of a community that feels like family. If you've been renting and wondering if home ownership is even possible, Axe Housing is here to work with you. An Axe Housing coach will help you create a plan, a budget, and move step by step toward owning a place you can truly call your own. They've already helped over 4,000 families become homeowners, and many are paying less than they were paying for rent. Don't let where you are today stop your families tomorrow. Start your journey at axehousing.org. That is ACTS housing.org. Your legacy begins at home.
At Milwaukee College Prep, we believe brilliance lives in every child. Here, students are challenged, supported, and celebrated every single day. With small class sizes, dedicated teachers, and a proven track record of academic excellence, MCP is helping Milwaukee kids reach their fullest potential. Enrollment is still open for grades K-3 through 8. Spaces are limited. Apply today. Give your child a school where they'll thrive. Visit mkeprep.com or call today. Milwaukee College Prep, brilliance lives here.
You can't buy a best friend. You can love them, walk them, pet them, and care for them, whether they want you to or not. You can take a picture or 50. You can fly to the moon, travel the world, or just stay in bed. You can't buy a best friend like that, but you can adopt one. There are millions of pets waiting for a best friend just like you. Help us save them all at bestfriends.org.
Talking about guns with others might not always feel comfortable, but it could save a life. Here's a way to start a conversation. Your family is going over to your neighbor's home for dinner for the first time. How would you ask if there are any unlocked guns in the home?
Hey, we're so excited for tonight. Before we come over, though, may I ask if there are any unlocked guns in your home?
Our guns are stored securely, locked in a safe that the kids can't access.
Awesome.
Learn how to have the conversation at agreetoagree.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Wherever there's a need in our communities, there's a United Way. Improving lives so everyone can thrive. Where more people can gain access to healthcare and nutritious food for their tables. Where more community members can benefit from financial education and get connected to local resources for housing support. And where children are given more chances to reach their full potential. Community is where we find our strength and where we share our hope. United is the way. Visit unitedway.org.
Put a tag on it. Got the dough. Every day look like the night before. Bad, I don't know. Put the out, I'm in my bag. Take these down and doing bad. Diamonds tangled up on me, they see it. Got that F and N on me, I'm tweaking. Monaco, I'm turned up out the way. Got the Russian mark with me today.
101.7 The Truth. It's your girl Jazz Tyler. You are officially tapped in. Shout out to everyone who is playing us right now on their radio station, in the car, at home, or at work. Shout out to the chat. Madi says, Jazzy, we love you. We love you too, Madi. Thank you so much for tapping in with us. Shout out to Anita, Nicole, and all of our regulars as well. Before we went to break, we were just doing a recap of the news regarding the man who was assassinated in Madison by the police officer. The fact that allegedly a witness came forward stating that he indeed did not have a knife. And the fact that those officers are not required to wear body cams. I'm so glad that there were so many people who were able to record the situation so that we can have the truth, because we all know how it goes whenever officers don't have body cams, meaning that they can come up with whatever story. Some of them can come up with whatever story it is that they want to make. So again, I hope that this family finds justice, and as this story continues to unfold, we will cover this as well. We also dip back into the situation with Nolan Wells. The new evidence that has come forth today has been 911 call, the call between two of the boys who were on that boat and two of the boys who were at that party with him, the pool party, prior to them going to the island. And the conversation, it seems like whatever source put this out stated that they were frantic and in a panic mode. But when I heard it, it didn't sound like that to me. When I heard it, it sounded like they were having side conversations in the background, trying to get their stories together. They were trying to make sure they had all of their I's crossed. Their T's crossed and their I's dotted. Then there is another situation that happened where they mentioned that a young lady was actually with Nolan prior to this incident. So it seems like it's just the point the fingers, the blame game. The other young men who were on the boat with Nolan are stating that he was with the young lady before it happened, and that he decided to stay back. So I was taking a look, and New York Times stated that Warren Hudson, who is actually the young man that went on the conservative podcast with Brandon Tatum, stated that we were in an emergency. He told Tatum as the pair visited Horn Island, citing a bulge pump issue. The boat, they were trying to save the boat. It's not like these are his words verbatim. It's not like we didn't ask Nolan or we just left Nolan. Nolan decided to stay on the island with the girl that he was with, and the girl is a witness to that too. Now, the girl who is in question reportedly had a conversation with Nolan's mother, stating that the interaction that they had with each other was simply just a hi and bye, and that they weren't hanging out or that they weren't kicking it or doing anything of that nature. His friend went back and just said that everyone just got in the water. Then eventually, next thing you know, it's our group. And then next thing you know, there's 50 other people around us. And then it just grew and grew as the day came on. Everybody's drinking. I mean, it's the 4th of July. Everyone's just trying to enjoy themselves. Hudson continued, and it's a big party basically. So he's saying that on numerous occasions, there are multiple people who are around, that they were not the only people who were on the island, which means that, again, I said this yesterday, there are multiple witnesses who are not coming forward. Somebody had to see something, heard something, but they were not the only ones who were on that boat. He then goes on to say, I never saw someone in the water that day sitting with their phone in their hand scrolling on anything or even taking pictures in the water. The deception of whales stand behind is one his father, Nolan's father, disagreed with. Now we're going into the opinion of the host. He's saying basically Nolan's dad is saying that he don't believe that his phone was left behind. He don't believe that that his son was left behind. He believes something else, as we all do. And again, the scary part of this all is the fact that these young men are privileged. And what I mean by that is that they have parents who sit and uphold seats in powerful positions that will allow them to cover this up if indeed Nolan was murdered. If indeed he was murdered, they have the resources and the access to cover this up, to cover their tracks, to make it seem as if the boat was drowning, to make it seem as if he was drinking and he drowned. Right. And then when you begin to pay attention to the comments, because y'all know how it goes on social media. I'm real big at scrolling, but sometimes I don't pay attention to whatever it is I'm looking at. I go straight to the comments, because a lot of time the comments is going to give you information that you are not necessarily looking for. And I don't mean opinions from just the average person, but rather people who may live in that city or people who have been around. They create fake pages because they're afraid to expose their identity. And then they begin to make comments. And there's a lot of that happening. There's a lot of what appears to be fake pages from people who was there, who was present, who was around, that may feel guilty or may feel bad. And they're starting to come forward. And again, as this case goes on, we'll continue to follow it. But this is tough. This is very tough. And I'm extremely heartbroken that Nolan had to go through that and that his family had to go through that as well. So again, our thoughts and prayers are with Nolan Wells and his family. And as this story continues to unfold, I will be giving you guys an update. Let's jump into this governor's race, right? We've all seen a array of things happening this past week as far as typical politics and politics, where they start throwing dirt on each other, so on and so on. One of the things that was being said, I don't even want to repeat because I don't understand why someone has enough time to go and look up something 15 years old. And if this is all you can come up with, then whoever it is that's doing your research needs to do a better job, because that right there, listen, Messy politics. So while everyone is focused on, while a lot of the candidates, except for a couple specifically, are focused on bashing each other and are focused on everything other than what matters, which is the people, I want to know, what exactly do each candidate offer when it comes to the youth? We all know that there's housing issues. We all know that there's issues with safety, not just in the city of Milwaukee, but throughout the entire state of Wisconsin. But I want to know more about the youth. What do they plan to do when it comes to employing the youth, education, violence prevention, mental health, and workforce development? Summer youth programs, crime and violence prevention, community investments. What is the plan? What is the plan for the youth? One candidate in particular, I have seen the work that they are currently doing to make sure that there are certain things set up in place so that youth do indeed have an outlet. They have somewhere safe to go, that they're able to work a job and be able to stay out of trouble. But as far as the other candidates, this is something that I never hear them talking about. And this is a big, the Milwaukee vote is going to play a huge role in the elections. And the things that we are dealing with outside of the housing and inflation is the youth. Black youth, to be exact. Black and brown youth. These are the issues that we're facing. And I have yet to hear some of these candidates speak to what their role is in making sure that we can provide a safe environment for our children. What do you guys plan to do? No one knows. I haven't seen any press conferences. I haven't seen them speak about this in debates, primarily because maybe they don't identify, right? It's one thing to donate to charities for children who live in poverty. It's another when you come from poverty and you are actually doing the work, boots on the ground. That means that you have full experience and you know exactly what it takes to get the job done. So as we're talking about youth employment, education, and things of that nature, my question that I'll pose to you is, are we investing enough in young people, right? We obtain all of these dollars every year to host programs, to, do all of these things to try and keep the youth off of the streets. But is that the wrong investment, right? Me personally, as an educator, it most definitely takes money and funds to keep the youth safe and out of trouble. But the investment that I truly believe they need, coming from someone who deals with them on a 24/7 base, is internal. The investment that they need, yes, it is money. Yes, they do have to take care of themselves, but it starts within. We have a lot of youth out here who has become numb to and accustomed to their friends dying, being murdered. They're living a fast life. They live basically like they're grown, right? Everything is fast paced. They may have homes that is not, honestly, when you go and visit the home or you meet the parents, you understand why they are the way that they are, right? There's a different type of investment that needs to be done. And that's going to take more than, a summer. Is going to take more than any season. Is going to take more than just a few organizations and a few people. This is something that the entire community has to play a part in, whether we like it or not. That is the harsh reality. Everyone likes to dismiss it and say their parents need to do a better job at this or that and da-da-da-da. But what you fail to realize is that when we become elders, the youth that you see today will be the same youth who will be running this city. And at the rate they are going, we all are doomed. So when I say we all have a role to play, we all have a role to play, whether you like it or not. It's the same as dealing with your child. When your child becomes a teenager, we all know the attitude starts. Sometimes they talk back. Sometimes they test you and feel like they can do whatever it is that they want to do. What's the saying? It takes a village. It truly does. A lot of the reason why my generation and the generation directly under me has been successful is because we had a village. Because one parent can correct another child without the other parent interfering or feeling attacked or acting a fool, right? We have to get back to the point where we have to show these youth, they don't respect adults because they feel like they're out here on their own, living adults' life, taking care of themselves financially. So who are you to tell me something, especially if you haven't made anything with yourself or something of yourself. Shout out to the chat. Jasmine Gooden says, I know my candidate is already showing up for Wisconsin and Milwaukee. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I agree with that. Listen, again, we have a lot of work to do in this city when it comes to the youth. We don't need any more panel discussions of everybody talking about what's wrong and y'all need to do this and where are the solutions, right? And I don't mean the solutions that keep people boxed in, the click solutions. I mean solutions across the board. Everybody has to play a part. We got to go to break to pay some bills. Do not touch that dial. It's your girl, Jazz Tyler, 101.7 The Truth.
Join the Milton House Museum for an extraordinary celebration of history, heritage, and freedom on September 26th at 7 p.m. at Janesville Performing Arts Center. This special evening features Grammy Award-winning Fisk Jubilee singers from Nashville, a legendary ensemble having preserved the powerful legacy of African American spirituals, carrying songs of faith, resilience, and hope to audiences around the world. Opening the evening is the dynamic Kofi Dance Company. Don't miss this unforgettable evening supporting the Milton House Museum. Tickets available at miltonhouse.org.
Are people around me safe when I vape? Science does not support that belief. Exhaled vape emissions linger in the air, affecting indoor air quality and bystanders in the same space through secondhand exposure. Vaping emissions can also accumulate on clothes, hair, dust, and furniture, leading to exposure risks to bystanders of all ages. And vaping around a pregnant person can lead to serious health impacts on fetal and childhood development. Enough with the puff. Learn more at ul.org/vaping.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom, she started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Reading aloud to children sharpens their listening skills, expands their vocabularies, and nurtures a lifelong love of reading. That's why Reading is Fundamental, the nation's leading children's literacy nonprofit, offers free monthly read-alouds by popular authors through its Rally to Read program. Visit rallytoread.org to watch the read-alouds and discover exciting reading activities for school and home. Visit rallytoread.org today.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
When I met both of them, it was like my missing pieces were found. Like it was just like an instant, these are my kids. If you're considering adopting a teen, just do it. Kids need families. I don't care the age, everybody deserves a family.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Life, I wonder, will it take me under? I don't know. Imagine smoking weed in the street.
101.7 The Truth is your girl, Jazz Tyler. We are live and direct. Thank you so much for tapping in with us. Make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, 101.7 The Truth, and follow us on social media at 101.7 The Truth and tap in MKE. Prior to us going to break, I briefly was talking about the governor's race, but not in the sense of who's saying what or who's doing what, rather as it pertains to the youth. Primarily because I know one candidate in particular, all of the work that they have been doing for over 15 years as it pertains to making sure the youth have an outlet, have safe spaces, that they're being put in positions to win. But I am not familiar with, and maybe this is my fault, I could be wrong, but I've researched, I've asked around, and I just have not seen any other candidates pay attention to this other than them talking about the charter schools, so on and so on. And it could be because they are not familiar with the demographics, hint, or because they simply just don't care. But either way, I feel like this should be a part of the conversation a little bit more. We're talking youth employment. We're talking education. We're talking violence prevention. We're talking mental health. We're talking workforce development, right? Not just programs that they can throw money at or nonprofits that they can say, hey, I've given money to this nonprofit, and as a result, they were able to . No, what are you doing boots on the ground? What are you personally doing? How are you investing inside of these youth? The question that I pose to you all, Truth Nation, is, are we investing enough in young people? And I don't mean just dollars, because we most definitely need some type of money, some type of funding to do all that we need to do in order to keep them out of trouble. But me as an educator, as a parent, as an aunt, as a community TT, I personally see this on a daily basis, that the investment these babies need is far beyond money. It's something money can't buy. It's something that's internal, right? They walk around lost. They walk around feeling like, however they're feeling. Nobody's paying attention to them. Think about it. We're so scared of the youth that when we see them in public, we just walk past them and don't even acknowledge them. Can you imagine walking into your job and nobody acknowledges you? Can you imagine walking down the street or coming in the house and nobody acknowledges you? How would that make you feel? This is what these babies are feeling, right? And not all of them are the youth who don't want to be a part of, the violence prevention program, so on and so on. It's just that the approach is the way that is being presented to them. All in all, I truly believe no matter what form of government it is, whether it's city, whether it's local, whether it's national, that this has to be a part of the discussion, especially because Milwaukee is facing these challenges 24/7, and we play a huge part in the vote, especially when it comes to the governor's race. We need to hear more about what do they plan to do with these youth? How much, based off the budget, how much money is going to be invested in making sure that we have year-round programs to provide to the youth so that they can stay out of trouble. Madi says, be careful how you inject words in your kids. Don't repeat the generational curse that was passed down to you. Break the chain. Exactly. And to that point, Madi, what I was speaking about before we went to break is everyone likes to blame the parents, but the parents who are raising these children went through something similar. I've also noticed that Milwaukee has had a huge increase the past maybe 3 years with out-of-towners. I don't know if you guys, I'm not going to blame it on one specific city because y'all know I'm going to say Chicago, right? But that is exactly what is happening. A lot of people are moving to Milwaukee. Why? Because it's easier to get benefits, meaning welfare, EBT, all of the above. The cost of living is a little bit cheaper from surrounding areas like a Chicago, Illinois, amongst other things. But my question also to that is, how much do they play a part in the violence that's taking place? The people who are not from here, who have not grown up here, who are moving into the city, how much are they playing a part in what is happening as it pertains to the crime, as it pertains to the youth? So that's also something that we have to be mindful of. But back to Madi's point, you cannot pass down generational curses. I feel like a lot of the youth that I work with, some of their parents are just as ignorant. And it's not for any other reason other than the fact a lot of our people have simply given up on life. A lot of our people who are in certain situations don't believe in nothing. They might believe in God, but they don't believe in the government. They don't believe in the system. They don't believe in anything pertaining to the city because the city has not shown them why they matter. And although there are elected officials, community activists, community organizations who are doing this work 24/7, right? Some of these people are doing it for self-gain. Some of these people are doing it because they truly believe, and we can't save everybody. But my approach as it pertains to the youth is, what is the point of saving the youth if they have to go right back to the same environment that made them sick? If they got to go right back inside of the household that every day their mother is calling them out of their name, or they go home, they don't have any food, and they're forced to get out here and scam and steal and do all of these other things just to take care of themselves and their siblings, how are we able to help them change as a person when this is their day-to-day life, right? It has to be an approach where we can cover the entire household. Are we going to save everybody? No. But there needs to be resources for the entire family, right? Not just the men's group meeting and then the women's group meeting and then the youth group meeting. Why can't we get everybody in the room to offer these solutions and to have these conversations, right? It's enough funding, it's enough people, it's enough organizations to go around. And to those who have been doing this work, I applaud you because it is not easy. But outside of the organizations, it's going to take us, the neighbors, the teachers, right? Working in the education system, I can tell you a lot of times it's really about the money. The money is, and to be fair, the money does matter because the schools have to go. But a lot of times it's not about the youth. It's about upholding the space that they're in to make sure that they have somewhere to go. And listen, it's rough out here. Like, it really is. It's so bad to the point where a lot of people are even scared to want to help, right? There's a lot of one-off beefs going on. You don't know what child is beefing with what child, what adult is beefing with what adult. I was just telling my sister the other day, the crazy thing about it is my generation, our children are the same age. And a lot of times we don't even know until something happens. Like, hey, I know your mom or I know your dad. That should not be the case, right? I come from an era where everybody knew who everybody, oh, that's so-and-so daughter. That's so-and-so grandson, right? That doesn't exist anymore. Is there really a sense of community? Not other than just giving out resources, right? Community is more than providing funds. Community is more than providing resources. Community is more than that. Community is making sure that each other is okay. Making sure, when's the last time you was able to walk to your neighbor house and ask for some sugar? Right? Or run down the street and, can I go to the corner store and I'll pay you back when I get some money? It's community. We are lacking community, right? And then we don't have any options for the youth. We're telling them you got to stay on the right track, but they stomach growling. How you going to tell me what I need to do, but you not feeding me? And when I'm looking at you, you don't even have your life together. So who are you to tell me what to do? That's exactly how these children are looking at some of these adults, right? Whether they have it or not, that is the truth, which is why we have to be a better example. Do we go through things? Yes. It's hard just to stay sane in this country, let alone this world. But we have to make sure we stay on top of what we need to stay on top of so that we can have a reason to say, you should listen to me. You should, because the days of them listening because it didn't work for you is out the window. They're not listening to somebody who been through something and don't have nothing. That is the reality, which is why it is important for us as adults to make sure that we are doing our due diligence, right? I can't afford to be out here acting a fool because I have too much to lose and I have too many youth who are looking to me to help them escape whatever it is that they're going through by providing opportunities, by providing mentorship, by providing just love, period, right? All of us, we have to work on ourselves and put ourselves in a position to where the youth will be willing to listen to us, because I think that is a myth. To say that they don't listen to nobody, yes, but why? Why don't they listen to you, right? What is the delivery like? They're emotional. This young generation is highly emotional. You can't come to them hard body like how the OGs we had. You just gonna say what you gonna say, and you just they gonna tell you how they feel. You gotta suck it up. You gotta take a punch to the gut and just take it. That's not how these babies operate. You can't come to them with the same approach that we approached them with in the 90s or the early 2000s, because these are COVID babies. These are babies who probably was born, their parents were drinking lean and so on and so on. Y'all know what I'm talking about. These are a different breed. So we have to be mindful of how we approach them. It's the approach, right? Don't talk at them, talk with them, have a conversation with them. And I guarantee you they will open up. Shout out to the chat. Madi said, it's sad. Spiritual wickedness is in high places. There's no unity in the churches and none in the black communities as well. I agree. I agree. A lot of people like to be black when it's beneficial. A lot of people like to be community activists when it's beneficial. A lot of people like to pretend like they're doing the work. But sometimes that's not the case, and you don't need a camera to do the work. You don't need social media to do the work. You don't need a witness to do the work. Just do the work. We got to go to break. Do not touch that dial. It's your girl, Jazz Tyler, 101.7 The Truth.
Game day starts here. The Atrium Sports Lounge, your new headquarters for every touchdown, buzzer beater, home run, and championship moment. Great food, great drinks, great vibes. Located in the heart of Milwaukee's Deer District at 1110 North Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Drive in Milwaukee. Be among the first to experience Milwaukee's newest sports lounge where every game feels like a championship event. Follow on Instagram at Atrium Sports Lounge MKE. The countdown is on. We'll see you soon.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you. Thank you.
Mommy, can I sit in the front seat just this one time? Please, please, please.
No, not yet.
But why?
Because I love you, and you're just not ready yet. Now, get in the back so I can get you in your car seat, please.
Putting your kids in the right seat for their age and size is an act of love. Check that your kids are in the right seat at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Love protects. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
In sitcoms, when someone has a problem, they just blurt it out and move on.
Well, I lost my job and my parakeet is missing. How was your day?
But the real world is different. Managing life's challenges can be overwhelming. So, what do? We get support. The Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council have mental health resources available for you at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. See how much further you can go when you take care of your mental health.
For 250 years, our armed forces have bravely served America. Wounded Warrior Project honors that legacy by supporting post-9/11 service members and veterans like Anthony, a Marine who was injured by a roadside bomb in Afghanistan.
They carried me through my injuries, not just my physical, but my mental. And seeing other vets doing the same thing helped me tell myself, hey, you can do this.
Join us in honoring warriors at woundedwarriorproject.org/America.
One 101.7 The Truth. It's your girl, Jazz Tyler. We are live and direct. I do believe a lot of people are going blind as it pertains to the youth, and some people just like to live in delusion. And you are very delusional if you believe that everything that is happening in our community with the youth is solely on the parents. It has never been that way. Think about when you grew up. Everybody played a part. Today we are talking about the youth. I touched on the governor's race a little bit, and I was stating that I only know one, if not two, but one for sure of the candidates who has been addressing safe summer initiatives, as well as youth development, summer jobs, violence prevention, education, so on and so on. The question that I pose to you all, Truth Nation, is, are we investing enough in young people? And I don't just mean when it comes to dollars. I mean, are we investing in them internally? Mahdi says that the youth needs love. Exactly. They do. They need love and compassion, right? We can't keep trying to fix them and then send them back into a broken home. So as it pertains to the youth, as it pertains to the elected officials who are currently running for office, one of the other questions that I pose is, do we often see elected officials visit neighborhoods outside of campaign season? How often do they show up? The reason why this is important is because if you are not boots on the ground, then you don't know. When I ran for office back in 2022 and 23, the end of 2022 going into 23, it was easy for me to want to run, primarily because not only am I a citizen, not only did I grow up on 14th and Burleigh 53206 in real life, right? It's because I work with the youth. I work with the parents. I work with the families, right? On scene and behind scenes. And a lot of the times, the ideas that we have about what is happening or why the youth are the way that they are is not their reality. It's not a reality at all. A lot of people are sitting from a distance and just judging and assuming that they are the way that they are for a specific reason, not knowing that that little girl is acting a fool at school because she's probably at home getting touched on, not knowing that that little boy is acting a fool because his dad is dead or in jail, right? You have some parents who take their frustrations out on their children, even if the child just look like the daddy. They don't even have to do nothing. You have some bitter baby mamas like that, right? I don't like you. Get out my face. They always talking crazy to the child just simply because they look like the other parent. There's so many reasons, but you would not know unless you are boots on the ground. And I don't mean just coming to, have one conversation. And I get it. When you uphold a seat as an elected official, you have so many constituents. You have so many residents, so many citizens in your district. It's so many people, right? But at the end of the day, if you can't do it all, you need to build a team so that all the information you need comes back to you, right? If I can't show up, one of my people going to show up, right? And if they can't show up, then we going to work with whoever we need to work with inside the community to make sure that this particular person or this particular family receive whatever services and resources it is that they need. At the end of the day, it's all a team effort. I think a lot of times when it comes to elected officials, some of them, it doesn't mean that their heart isn't in the right place. It's just that they have been so far removed from the people that they have no idea on how or if they'll be accepted, right? If they'll be accepted, because they're not around. You just got to jump in there. If you really are about this work and you really want to make change, you have to make it your job. Alderwoman Cox always said, and I learned this from her, meet the people where they are. Don't always expect for the people to be around you or to come to you. You got to go where they are. And if you can't go where they are, then maybe you don't need to have that seat, because that means that you are not willing to do something that may make you uncomfortable. Even if it's unsafe, this is what you got security for. It's unsafe to drive down the street nowadays. Take your tail on down there where you need to go and go have some real conversations with some real people so you can get a true explanation as to what is happening, right? You can't just go based off of numbers. For example, they like to say, hey, the unemployment rate went down. Yeah, because nobody applying no more. It ain't because they all got jobs. It's because they're not filling out applications anymore. Bruh. That's how they trick you. That's how the media can trick you into believing whatever they want you to believe as it pertains to data. The unemployment rate went down, guys. Yeah. How many of those people actually are working, and how many of those people actually stop filling out applications or taking the services that you provide, right? There's so many ways to skin a chicken. You just got to figure out which knife you're going to use at the end of the day. It's too many situations, too many people to talk to not want to take that serious as far as visiting neighborhoods and families and talking to real people in real situations outside of the campaign season. That's a saying. The saying is, it got to be in you and not on you. And a lot of these elected officials, it ain't in them. It's not in them. They don't have it in them to do the work, to do the real work, not the work that makes you look good, not the work that makes you comfortable, but the work that makes you uncomfortable, right? They're not willing to put in that work. And for that reason, we always end up in the situations that we end up in. So I go back again. Who have you seen out of the governor's race? This is a honest question. I'm purposely not saying names because I don't want anyone to think I'm trying to persuade them to vote for a specific candidate. However, out of these candidates, which candidate have you seen do the work in the inner city? No matter if it's Milwaukee, Appleton, Green Bay, Madison, Eau Claire, Fond du Lac, I don't care where it is. When it comes to the youth, we all know the crisis that we're facing in the city of Milwaukee. We all know that Milwaukee plays a big part in the votes, right? The black vote matters. No matter what people say, I don't care if you're not political, it matters. When we don't vote, certain people don't win. So again, these candidates that's running, what have you presented? How do you plan to get youth jobs? How do you plan to come up with summer safe initiatives to prevent violence? How do you plan to help them with their mental health? How do you plan to help them with their addiction, right? That should be at the top of the list. How many youth have passed away from vapes or lace blunts that has fentanyl? How many overdoses have we had? Or does it not matter in the outer city, meaning we're left out of everything because we aren't white? I remember a couple of years ago when a lot of the white kids was coming down to Milwaukee to get their drugs and they were overdosing, and it was like, hey, oh my gosh, we have to do something. Yeah, but guess what? Our babies don't do those drugs, but they're still doing drugs. They're still hiding and masking how they're feeling. They're still fighting something internally. How do you plan to assist them with addiction? We have babies that's 13, 14, 15 who are addicted to drugs, who are addicted to sex, who are addicted to stealing, addicted to killing. How do you plan to help them with addiction? How do you plan to help them with mental health? How do you plan to help them with putting money in their pocket because they hungry and they don't know how they're going to feed themselves as well as their siblings? We have a caller on the line. Brother Love, are you there?
Hey, Jazz, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing real good. Yeah, Jazz, this reminds me of a time when I had fell in love and didn't know what it was. And by the time I realized, it was too late. So sometimes, like you said, they need just a little bit more love, you think?
Absolutely. Love and compassion, right? But not love with stipulations, right? Like it, and I get it. It's so difficult to talk about this because of so many different things and that happens when it comes to the youth and their safety. But at the end of the day, they are people. So when we talk about love, we're not talking relational. We're talking about the fact that they need someone to acknowledge them. They need someone to let them know that they care, that they exist. You know what I'm saying? They need someone to say, hey, you matter and you are worthy.
Yes. They need that nurturing. And thank you, Jazz. You're doing a great job. Keep up the good work and have a great weekend.
Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. You have a good weekend as well. But yes, when we're talking about the youth and we're talking about the governor's race, at the top of my list, I will be talking about not only violence prevention, not only youth programming, not only providing them with jobs, but mental health and addiction. This is coming from someone who works in the school, who has worked at another school, who has been in the community for a while, who is a mother. These children have an addiction problem. They have multiple addiction problems. And this is something that we're not talking about. We're talking about the violence so much, but that's not the root cause. The root cause is the mental health. The root cause is the fact that some of these babies are on medication, but their parents don't have the proper insurance or the money to purchase the medication. They don't have the resources that they need in order to be successful. When we come back, coming up in the 5 o'clock hour, we have a special guest, my community brother, Von Mays. We're going to tap into an even deeper conversation about the state of the youth as it pertains to not just Milwaukee, but Wisconsin. Do not touch that dial. It's your girl, Jazz Tyler, 101.7 The Truth.
Hungry for something fresh and delicious? Get your favorites from Cousin Subs delivered straight to your door. From our freshly baked bread and hand-sliced meats and cheeses to our famous sides, crispy golden fries, Wisconsin cheese curds, or creamy mac and cheese. Every meal made to order and ready to enjoy. Ordering is quick and easy online or through the Cousins app. Whether it's a solo lunch, family dinner, or a spread for the whole crew, let us bring it straight to you, fast and fresh. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
In Milwaukee County, equity means making sure everyone has a real chance to thrive. That's why the Milwaukee County Office of Equity works to help remove barriers, strengthen community connections, and support fair access to opportunities across Milwaukee County. Want to learn what they do, explore resources, or find ways to get involved? Just search Milwaukee County Office of Equity online. Milwaukee County Office of Equity, advancing equity for all Milwaukee County residents. For more information, search Milwaukee County Office of Equity online.
In the United States, a vehicle is stolen every 31 seconds, about as long as this message. Luckily, you can take a few easy steps to protect your car in the same amount of time. Remove your valuables, roll up your windows, don't leave your car running unattended, lock your doors, and take your keys or fob. If you have information about a crime, call the police. If you suspect insurance fraud, also call 800-TEL-NICB. A public service message from the National Insurance Crime Bureau.
I always had to be so good, no one could ignore me. Carve my path with data and drive. But some people only see who I am on paper. The paper ceiling, the limitations from degree screens to stereotypes that are holding back over 70 million stars. Workers skilled through alternative routes rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time for skills to speak for themselves. Find resources for breaking through barriers at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
I'm Chris Jakomick. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakomick, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
In the United States, a vehicle is stolen every 31 seconds, about as long as this message. Luckily, you can take a few easy steps to protect your car in the same amount of time. Remove your valuables, roll up your windows, don't leave your car running unattended, lock your doors, and take your keys or fob. If you have information about a crime, call the police. If you suspect insurance fraud, also call 800-TEL-NICB. A public service message from the National Insurance Crime Bureau.
Milwaukee Black Talk lives here on 101.7 FM and 1510 AM, W269DL Milwaukee, and WGKB Waukesha.
One 101.7 The Truth. It's your girl Jazz Tyler. We are live and direct. American Family Insurance is a proud sponsor of The Truth. For almost 100 years, they've been committed to helping families protect what matters most: your home, your vehicle, and the dreams you are building every single day. If you are a part of The Truth audience, you already know you work hard for yours. That's why having the right protection in place matters. American Family helps you stay ready for whatever life brings so you can focus on moving forward. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly with American Family Insurance. Get a quote or find an agent at amfam.com. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin. Shout out to Truth Nation for tapping in with us. Marquise G says, you are correct. This is now Chicago, Wisconsin. Absolutely. Absolutely. I've been seeing it happen. We've seen it happen in the 90s and early 2000s, and it seemed like it's happening again. Shout out to the chat. Guru says, we We're too busy being used and abused by our politicians, and the kids see it. How we have so many abandoned buildings with the 1975 streets to match. Walking up to that every day breeds a F the world attitude. This is a fact. This is a fact, Guru. Your environment matters. When you walk out, there is a study that was done by a psychologist. I remember talking to an elected official about this over 5 years ago, that when you walk outside of your home, as soon as you step outside, whatever you are surrounded by impacts your way of thinking, your way of living, right? If you're living in an area that's full of abandoned buildings and vacant lots that the city sometimes don't keep up, you are naturally going to feel like you are in survivor mode, right? It looks like a war zone, like a third world country. That's exactly how it feels to step outside in some of these neighborhoods. You have to prepare yourself. You don't know what's going to happen walking down the street. Something as simple as going to the store. You don't know what's going to happen when you're on the bus stop. All you're simply doing is trying to survive. Marty says, Jazzy, you can't work in schools. They ain't going to learn. Miss Parker, that is hilarious. Guru says, we need a Truth Radio healing after Tory marched all his supporters into a burning house while he collected his award from our pockets. Woo! I'm not even going to touch on that, but I understand exactly what you mean. Again, we are talking about the youth and how much we are investing in the youth. Before we went to break, we was having a conversation about whether or not elected officials pop up in these neighborhoods prior to campaign season, right? What are they dealing with outside of violence prevention, outside of safe summer programming? There's only one elected official in particular that I have seen do the work. But are we talking about mental health? Are we talking about addiction, right? These are things that we have to have a conversation about when it comes to the youth, especially addiction. We got a special guest in the building. My community brother is here. What's up, Vaughn? I feel like I ain't seen you in forever.
Hey, it's been forever, man. This a tap in. We tap
yes,
in, right?
Yes, indeed. The real. If you know, you know. The real tap in LKE. So we were talking about the state of the youth. One of the things that I brought up was the governor's race and some of the things that the candidates have been talking about and haven't been talking about. And we all know one elected official in particular has been doing the work. Like, we've seen him do the work. But a lot of them, I have yet to see them talk about anything other than charter schools or public schools. I haven't seen them talk about violence prevention, addiction, mental health, job programming, all of the above. What is your take on the current governor's race as it pertains to the youth?
Man, I think we in a position that we usually are in when it comes to our community not being educated. You know what I'm saying? Not knowing who's out here, who's doing what.
Yes.
And we have this new form of activism where people are attaching themselves to whatever the key thing is right now. Like, we got these data centers.
Yep.
So they like, oh, this person is against data centers, so that's the right person.
Yes.
And I'm like, they missing all the good pieces of like what's been going on in our city, who's been helping with all the stuff that affects our community, our people, that we can't just attach ourselves to one key issue and think that's going to be the person that's going to help us with everything.
That's right. That's right. We're going to get into it because, first of all, this is my type of jap. We always have some great conversations as well, but I know that people are familiar with you, but I want you to take us back to the beginning, not just the beginning of when when you became super active, but your upbringing, things you have been through, and the reason why you are doing the work that you are doing today.
Man, yeah, I mean, for me, I was born here. I wasn't raised here, but that's a testament to like the issues that was going on at home. Like, Dad was he was a king basketball star. Everybody know him. He was supposed to go to the NBA, start going to jail and all that good stuff. So my mom's was dealing with drugs. So I ended up in Mississippi from about 4 to 14. I came back here for high school.
Okay.
So all the good stuff that people you remember this, remember that? No, I remember none of that.
Yeah, because you was going, You was here for them
Lucky
box
me.
parties.
Hey, listen. Now, I was here for that.
Shout out to Martin Too Cool.
Shout out to Martin Too Cool, man. I was a dude on PAX, man.
Yeah.
It was certain people that was popping on PAX. So.
Yeah, the PAX party was cracking. I'm not even gonna lie.
But yeah, that's that experience, that upbringing is led to my story of I wasn't raised by my parents, but I got to see a man go to work every day, take care of the household. I wasn't financially hurting, you know what I'm saying? I didn't have to worry about if our lights was going to be on, we got to move. So I got to see that side of the coin. So when I moved here, it was complete chaos. Like homeless teenager right away, pretty much, got into the system, started getting into trouble. Dealing with the racism here.
Yes.
It's crazy that I say I grew up in Mississippi, but I dealt with
racism here. Come on
it's
now.
a whole issue within itself. So, that's what kind of, those factors are what kind of drove me toward this path. And then incarceration is what really got me like, something ain't right here. And, we got to do something about it. So the whole reentry thing was where I started, but I never got to address that until more recently. But that's what got me into activism, meeting the Khalil, the Tory, all them folks, and getting out here, knowing who's who and who's what, and then just kind of finding myself, of like, what kind of leader I wanted to be, what things I wanted to focus on. So
yes, and I'm glad you said that, because for those who are not in the community as deep, you wouldn't understand what he just said, right? As far as finding what it is that, because let's be honest, when we talk about the community, there's so many different things. All of us, we all need help, from reentry to housing to the youth to families to drug addiction to so on and so on. And when you jump out here as a young person in your early 20s, the first thing you do is, I just want to fight. I just want to help my people. I just want to be there for my people. So you find yourself, dealing with different people in different lanes, and until you can figure it out. And it's frustrating. It becomes frustrating, and you can easily become discouraged, because you then realize that not everybody has the same agenda. How was that like for you, transitioning into trying to figure out into, what, this is exactly what I want to do?
Man, first of all, like I said, dealing with the racism and just seeing that weird lens of like, I just came from Mississippi, but it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Seeing what's going on here is crazy. And then getting involved in the community, and like you said, like, I grew up fighting. That was my thing. That was what I was originally known for.
Yeah.
But to me, that's easy. It's easy to fight your own people. It's easy to be out here being part of the problem. But then I'm like, when it comes time for us to stand up for situations like police accountability, when it comes to advocating for what laws and policies are going to push our community forward and make things better, like, it's very few people that stand up for that kind of stuff. So I'm like, that's the real gangster stuff. That's the real tough stuff.
Yes.
Right. So I was always a person to take on the big fights.
Yep.
Especially as the person who previously everybody came to for all the small fights and all the stuff that. So I'm like, if I'm going to jail for nothing, if I could lose my life for nothing, I might as well do that for something that means something.
I'm laughing because I know a couple people who got them paws put on them, man. We ain't gonna say no names.
Yeah,
but
them stories gonna stay in the vault.
Listen, at the end of the day, I only say that to say, like, I have witnessed up close and personal what it means when a brother does take up for his people, even if it is your own people. That's an exception.
Yeah, I mean, we are our own protectors in a sense too. Like, when it comes to protecting children in our community, women in our community, those are times we even if it's us, right is right and wrong is wrong, right?
That's
we gotta
right.
Stand up for what's right. But again, like, systems, people who are in my perspective, who are our real enemies, who are driving a lot of this stuff that we are affected by, and we don't even know why we doing certain things or why things are the way that they are.
Yep.
And that spills over into us not understanding how these things work and affect us. Because I've heard people say, that voting don't affect me. And I'm like,
yes, it does. Especially
they
locally.
set the laws of the land.
Yeah.
Things you go to jail for that other people don't.
Yep.
That's a law and a policy somebody put into place to make sure you be affected by that, not somebody else necessarily, right?
And you didn't vote.
Right. So just having that understanding and flipping that switch one day, that take a lot of self-assessment. It take a lot of, assessing what's going on around you and understanding, wanting to understand.
Yes.
Because, right now, what just happened in Madison, folks want to just take action and do the rah-rah, but it's like, sometimes we got to get beyond certain things. We know what the issues are. We all saw it, right?
Yep.
Everything ain't. We all know coming from protesting and all that. That has a place.
Yep.
But who's going to have those real access to these folks like the mayor there?
Exactly.
To the police chief there, like to make sure that they sit down and have them conversations for real and have that leverage and respectability for them to be like, okay, yeah, let's sit down and change this for real, without it being from a fear base, because now they may listen to you and budge a little bit, but on the back end, we got things like the protester list.
Yep.
We got things like them trying to target and take people out because they scared of you.
Yes.
You know, they got people may end up doing something, and then you taking yourself off the board for going to jail.
Yes.
Right? So we got to be smart, and we got to be well-rounded in how we think and how we act to certain things.
Absolutely, especially at this age, because let me tell you, we done been detained so many times from protesting, and I'm not sleeping on no concrete bed. Listen, at the end of the day, you have to be smart and you have to pass that torch too. Let the young people protest. You know what I mean? Like, we'll protest when we need to, but I'd rather be in the rooms having conversations to find a solution. We got to go to break to pay some bills. We got my good brother Von Mays in the building. It's Jazz Tyler, 101.7 The Truth.
Milwaukee business owners, this is your moment. Every Friday at 8 a.m., call in to 101.7 The Truth for What the Business Is. Tell us what your business is, where you're located, and one thing you've learned along the way. What the Business is powered by We Energies, delivering the energy that powers local business. Fridays at 8 a.m. on 101.7 The Truth. Fridays at 8 a.m. on 101.7 The Truth.
Black Arts Fest MKE is back and bigger than ever. Come out Saturday, August 1st at the Summerfest grounds for a full day celebrating Black culture, African heritage, music, art, fashion, food, and family fun. Enjoy live performances from Big E, Hollywood the Classic, Cold Drink, MJ, Star Red, the Lattimore Brothers, and don't miss the headliner, Dave Hollister. Celebrate the foundations of hip-hop with the legendary Boogaloo Shrimp, a.k.a. Turbo from Break It, the Divine Nine Party, a Michael Jackson tribute by Brew City Soul, a gospel music celebration, and the Black Hollywood Experience featuring Jamal Gravy Woolard and Benzino. Compete in the culture contest with a $500 cash prize awarded in the categories of African heritage hairstyles, fashion design, and fine art. Bring the whole family for horse rides, the Kids Zone, a Corvette car and bike show, and more. Tickets are on sale now, plus there are discounts for seniors and youth. Credentialed veterans and kids 7 and under are free. Black Arts Fest MKE, Saturday, August 1st at the Summerfest grounds. Get your tickets now at blackartsfestmke.com. And for more info, follow Black Arts Fest MKE on Facebook.
And here's Heather with the weather.
Well, it's beautiful out there, sunny and 75, almost a little chilly in the shade. Now, let's get a read on the inside of your car. It is hot. You've only been parked a short time and it's already 99 degrees in there. Let's not leave children in the back seat while running errands. It only takes a few minutes for their body temperatures to rise, and that could be fatal.
Cars get hot, fast, and can be deadly. Never leave a child in a car. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, honey bear.
'Cause remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
101.7 The Truth. Is your girl Jazz Tyler. We are live and direct, and we most definitely got the truth in the building. My good brother Von Mays is here. We are talking about the youth. We are talking about the state of the youth and the state of the city. As someone who is, well, let me say this, and get a little background. I was in Atlanta working with Zech doing music, and then I seen the case. This is pre-Instagram, pre-Twitter. I seen the case of Derek Williams happen, and I came home and I wanted to get involved. I ended up reaching out to Tori Lowe. Tori ended up bringing me on board. I met Mahdi and Khalil Coleman and different people, Big Mike, all types of people, and we began to work on this. There was numerous of things that had happened to multiple people during that time, and it was like constant when it came to police brutality. So much to the point that it started to become a lot and overwhelming. So I played the backseat, and right at the beginning of me playing the backseat, Big Mike introduced me to Von Mays. And this is at the height of, I want to say, was it Dontre Hamilton?
Mm-hmm.
Dontre Hamilton situation. And then Von, throughout the years, has always shown up, has always done what he was supposed to do. Fast forward to 2022, we ended up linking, well, nope, let me back up. Von created a program prior to 2022 called We Locked In, but it was pretty much an overnight lock-in program, amongst other things that a lot of people have taken ideas and did what they wanted to do. And when a situation happened in 2022 that had nothing to do with the youth, we had a conversation with the mayor. And we all came, me, you, and Ray came together to do the lock-in programs. And we've been rocking with the lock-in programs ever since, right? Mm-hmm. So with that being said, we know how effective youth programming is, yes. Right? Why does this matter? And when it comes to not just the community, but politics, why should this be at the forefront?
I mean, because, one thing is Wisconsin and Milwaukee, we have more nonprofits per capita than I think any other place.
Yep.
But we see the conditions of our community and our young people, right? So there's a disconnect, right?
Yeah.
And usually there is, right? So you got to think that's either, a reoccurring mistake or it's intentional.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Probably intentional.
It's one or the other, and if you look at it, you'll make your mind up on what you see. But the thing is, you have to do things that impact the issues we talking about. Right?
Yeah.
So if your light's not working and somebody come with a program to make your water, what I'm saying, hotter, that ain't addressing the problem that we know we got.
Come on.
And so, even starting with 2016 in Sherman Park, like we came up with program the parks, and even though stuff still happens at Sherman right here and there. It's nowhere near 2016.
That's
where it was
a fact.
Constant day to day, right? And that's work that we did that is still a different version that has evolved.
Yeah.
What is now the lock-ins, right?
Yeah.
So listening to the youth, right? And when I say the youth, there's this thing where people try to be broad when they say we work with
the youth,
right? The youth.
Yeah.
We hear from the youth, right? But usually they talking about C+ or above average students. They
we call them
about
the Boys and Girls Club kids.
They don't need the help.
Yeah.
They good. They parents good.
Yeah.
They may get into some stuff here or there. Most of it is by choice. It ain't that they got to live like that, right? But what we talking about, Jazz, is those young people that was like us.
Yeah.
Right? And so listening to them, watching them, and being from that life, right, we know what to do, right?
Yep.
Because not only did we live and experience those same things, we have asked them, from our original lock-ins, after every event, we asking them to evaluate the program.
Yep.
Right? And they telling us this what we like, this what we didn't like.
Yeah.
So we ain't got to keep having that conversation.
Come on now, we getting it from the source.
Keep asking them.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And so when you get people who and some folks want to do the right thing, right? But Milwaukee just have a history of like unoriginality. They just like, okay, this popping, let's take this and revamp it. And sometimes they don't even revamp it. They just package, copy and paste.
Take it. Don't even include it.
And the thing is, if the passion ain't there and the vision ain't there, it's not going to have the same impact, right?
Yep.
And so that's why it matters who's doing what. There are certain programs that I know if those kids aren't working with me and they over there, they good.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And there's very few.
Yep.
And so that's why it matters, because we have an issue of our young people not just needing programs and services, but needing real people that's going to really care about them and is going to make sure they're putting all into making sure that they're good.
Yeah.
Not just, hey, it's 9 o'clock, don't call me after 9.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get this check and I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
That matters.
Yeah.
It mattered in my life where people went out their way to make sure they gave me a job. I didn't have to fill out no application. They was just like, he need a job. Hey, show up here at this time, this day, and work.
That's right.
You need people in the world like that. And so when you try to cut those people out and create your own version of what that person's effectiveness is, right? That is why we continue to see the things that we see outside, because these kids can tell what kind of person you are. They can tell if you're just trying to get them a sandwich and count their number for some bread, right? And so we've seen it with people who, these kids genuinely care about these folks. Like if something happens to them in front of them, them kids gonna probably, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And that's, I mean, that ain't nothing new in our community. We all had somebody before on our block that everybody know this house will take folks in, they'll give them food, so they look out for that house.
Yeah.
Right? And so it's the same thing. And we just need more of that, of people stepping up, not just to get the spotlight they think gonna come from it, or not just to get the dollars they think associated with that, but who really have the vision of wanting to see a better, greater Milwaukee, and gonna stand on that whether they get paid for it or not.
I guess us Burlock babies, we just built different, man. You know what I mean? Look at me. Yeah, the Burlock babies, we built different, man. We grew up a little different. But to your point, it's so disheartening when people are put in positions to actually help, but they are so caught up in pride and ego and wanting to be the star of the show that they don't play their role. You know what I mean? And I've watched the things you have gone through. You know, we're not going to say names and all of that stuff, but I've seen people take what you have built and then X you out. I've seen how the youth interact with you with the program support. My nephew, rest in peace to Travion, he was a product of Program to Parks, right? And I didn't even know until you told me that he was a part of but there is youth who we know for a fact have benefited from it. There's youth right now at Howard Fuller. We got a lot of locked in babies that come through there, right? So we know firsthand, to your point, the importance of having specific people doing specific things. Do you want to kind of go through the process of how the lock-in program started, even before 22, but just like the original thought process?
Well, you know, I just noticed that, you know, there was a lack of programming at late night hours, right? And a lot of what we did, even with Sherman Park, right, is they didn't understand why these kids wouldn't go home at 10. So you had a lot of police response because you have hundreds, if not dozens of kids at the least who just wouldn't go home. I'm talking about I don't know if you saw the viral picture of them kids sleep at the park at Atkinson, right?
Yeah.
It was that, but they was pushing all the park benches. I'm talking about dozens of kids, sometimes hundreds, right? And so it was just a lot of police response of like arresting them, tackling them like, hey, you breaking the law, you know, getting tickets, all that kind of. So we had to slow that process down, and like nobody's asking why won't they go home, right?
Yeah.
So figuring out some of these kids are homeless, some of these kids are in the system and running away and getting abused and all type of stuff, right? And even though we may want them in a house somewhere, at the end of the day,
that's not the safest
as a young
place.
person who was out here like that, some of us gonna be out here, right?
Yep.
And so we need to provide a space for them if they gonna do that. Because when we trying to take them to, you know, a youth shelter, right?
Yeah.
There are barriers that may even keep them from even having access to that, to where you got to have parental permission. So, but if you running from a parent, right, who not gonna get them permission because they don't want them, you know, the people in their business or to know what's going on at home, you ain't finna be able to stay there.
That's a fact.
So if we're gonna have these things, right, we need to provide that space and the safety of it, and those services and those and those great people who also associated with them, you know, to build and funnel them into different things. So again, morphing that from going to a park where you're limited in how much control you have of the space, but still being able to provide to a large number, a building is always better control, right? So those things of safety, those things of activities, those things of education, engagement, even, you know, with the stipends and stuff like that and the prizes, right?
Yeah.
Just developing that along the lines of, like I said, what we had already been doing.
Yeah.
And just morphing it along. And then, I mean, I couldn't have had better partners to start with, man. Like, I beat the pavement of like, hey, we need this. And it took for you and Ray, right, to stand up with me and had that press conference because, again, something happened, here they go blaming the youth.
Yes.
Only for us to see.
It wasn't even them.
Yeah, right. And it still happens.
Yeah.
They still always jump to demonize our young people.
Yep.
And that's what got me even started into youth programming, is like, this is how we talking about our kids. Like, we can't throw away our future. I'm so glad that when I was breaking in people's cars, you know, armed robbery, like all type of stuff I was involved in, people still never had that attitude of like, man, F these kids.
Of counting you out. Yeah.
Right. And we just have that attitude that's reoccurring here. And so some of us have to be safeguards for our young people.
Yes.
Even though they speak for themselves and they show for themselves, they still need that front line of people to help them.
Absolutely.
You know, in making that transition.
Absolutely. And it's imperative. And I said it before and I say it all the time. If we don't do it, who's going to do it? Right. The fact that you even said that, it lets me know well, not lets me know because I already know, but a lot of people don't think that way. A lot of people think that they have to protect themselves from the youth versus being the protection of the youth, right? And the more we started to do the lock-in programs and whatever programming you had going on or whatever events, even Tay Day, you know, the more we we able to see like these babies just need food, love, money, and something to do. Like we maybe had like one altercation where it was so minute, like the police didn't even have to be called. But outside of that, we have never had any issues. And we've had youth in the lock-in programs who were beefing. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it works. We got to go to break. When we come back, we're going to tap in some more with my good brother, Von Mays. Do not touch that dial. It's your girl, Jazz Tyler.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Each blood pressure check, each clear answer, each caught it early moment is why we show up. From unexpected nights in the ER to therapy that helps you get your strength back, step by step. We stand ready, quietly preparing, focused, and guided by one promise: to be fully devoted to you. Ascension, Wisconsin. Advanced care, devoted to you.
When a warrior faces adversity, he fights through it. He finds a way. Freedom isn't free. Rolling strong. Belief. Believe you can, and you will.
Wheelchairs for Warriors provides mobility solutions to veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Join the mission and visit wheelchairsforwarriors.org.
Here's the deal. We gotta set ourselves up. See, retirement is the long game. We gotta make moves and make them early. Set up goals. Don't worry about a setback. Just save up and stack up to reach them. Let's put ourselves in the right position. Pre-game to greater things.
Start building your retirement plan at thisispretirement.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
For 75 years, the Muscular Dystrophy Association's voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
For 75 years, we've willed the impossible into existence.
For 75 years, the MDA community has pushed the science,
shifted the narrative, and established the field of neuromuscular medicine.
And until that day when this is all a thing of the past,
you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
You can't buy a best friend. You can love them, walk them, pet them, and care for them, whether they want you to or not. You can take a picture or 50. You can fly to the moon, travel the world, or just stay in bed. You can't buy a best friend like that, but you can adopt one. There are millions of pets waiting for a best friend just like you. Help us save them all at bestfriends.org.
.7 in Truth. It's your girl Jazz Tyler. We are live and direct. We got my good brother Von Mays is in the building, man. Listen, who else better than to talk the truth with, right? Shout out to the chat. They said, Guru said, if Von is in the building, we most definitely got the truth in the building, and you got to know that. You got to know that. We are talking about the youth. We are talking about programming. Before we went to break, we were having a discussion pertaining to the program, the parks, as well as the locked-in program. So 2002, there was a situation at Pfizer Forum, the Deer District, where during that was that the championship year or no, the year after it was Bucks and Six. Mm-hmm. That's what it was, and multiple people were shot, and they automatically started blaming it on the youth. And then I ended up having a conversation with the mayor talked to Vaughn. Vaughn said, let's go ahead and lock in the We Locked In. Now, the reason why, not just because he called, but because I also understood, but the thing that I loved the most about the Lock In program is that all the way up until now, it was strictly community based. Like, we didn't receive no funding. We never got paid for it. We got donations from the community. From some people, like a shout out to Mark Chambers. He always finds time to pull up to the Lock In. Shantia Lewis was one of the first supporters. Kevin Newell was one of the first supporters. Arda Woman Cox, different people, right? But it was community based. We raised funds for it. We reached out to the community to volunteer. We started bringing in all of these youth. I think like 70 to 100 youth in one night, like 8 p.m. to 8 a.m.
I don't think people know how hard that is.
What?
This is a hard thing to take on.
Oh my gosh.
People understand. We were able to do it for a year, that first year when Shantia,
Yep.
And thanks to Kevin Newell and his team for allowing us to have the space.
Yeah.
To develop and pilot and
yes.
get our formula together, So yeah, it was a dope experience starting off.
It was, and it was a lot of work. What goes all? I want you to talk about what goes all into it. Not just so we know we have to find staff, we have to find funding, we have to feed them, we have to have funding for the stipends and the contests. We have to have programming. There's so much that goes into it. We have to stay up all night. We have to have security. We have to talk to the police department. We have to talk to the elected officials. We have to talk to whoever works with the venue. But can you just kind of give us a rundown on what that looks like, planning wise and just mental wise?
And it's the importance of having a team, right? Because the programming and the layout and the vision was there, but like to bring it in totality, right? All those different pieces. So you help make the connection with the mayor's office to for support, and then Shantia, and then coordinating that with Kevin Newell, like all the resources and things that you bring, right? Made that possible.
On top of the people that you brought,
even the different streams of support that came in, like I believe somebody paid for the sleeping bags.
Yeah, we're not gonna say who,
but those connections,
that
right?
Company did.
That's not something I would have been able to accomplish, right? On my own, and then Ray, having his cachet and who he is, right? Bringing that to the fold, right? That those things are important.
And Comforce, shout out to Comforce.
The team, was showing up, and and all the other folks that we were able to.
Karen.
Man, just so much. But similar to Program the Parks, just coming into a park and putting out a call to the community to say, this is what we're trying to do, and this is what we need.
Yeah.
And we were able to run these programs essentially. Doing that from community support, like you said, and that's the true essence of how we supposed to take care of our community, right? But at the same time, it's unfortunate that we have to do that because there are folks who have dollars and funding and stuff for these things. They say they for these things, right? And those are our tax dollars.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, if these things and they have importance, and government recognized they have importance, because this is how the government was able to take the breakfast program from the Panthers, right? Because they knew that how powerful that was, right?
Yeah.
And so, again, just having that, being able to align all those different pieces, bring in folks like the Big Franks, the Steves. We even had, what is his name? The crazy dude who was like...
he
just some of the artists. Yeah, he was one of the performers.
54 Baby Train.
Man, bless that brother's heart, man. Man, we had some folks in there, but that's listening to the young people and who they look up to, right? Merging those influencers.
Yep.
Making them a major piece to say, y'all have these platforms. We need y'all to utilize that.
Yes.
To affect these kids in a positive way, right?
Yep.
Having the little RBs come in and shoot music videos and do TikToks with them.
These are people they think are famous.
Yeah,
like
and even when you mention Tay-Day, like, shout out to NGL Marmar. She just did a version of Tay-Day. Like she did a basketball camp and tournament at Moody Park.
That's so fire.
Yesterday. And she was somebody who's been involved in the Tay-Days and all the different stuff that we do, and she was inspired to start her own. You know what I'm saying? And she gave credit, like, y'all inspired me to do this. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what that's what's supposed to happen.
And it was successful, and it's dope. She's from that community. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And just, you know, and you know this, Jazz, like you said, kids who been to the lock-ins from the beginning to kids who come to their first one.
Yep.
When they see us out, they be like, hey, what's up?
Yep.
Like,
when the next lock-in.
Right. If I had $1 for every, we would have the funding for the program if we got $1 for every time they asked us.
I promise you.
And so it's just, when you have something that works, right, and people run from it, that says a couple things. One, we all know they're scared of our youth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's always the what is, or this could happen, this could happen. But when you have people who are willing to take that on, that's not something to be taken lightly.
It's not. And again, just to back you up on it, right? Like, we're talking 70 to 100 youth at one time. Yeah. Youth from all different parts of the city. Youth who may have ops, quote unquote. There's so much. Exactly. In the building with them. Full-fledged food, meatballs, you know, chicken, mashed potatoes, like
full course meals.
Vaughn raises money to give out stipends, basketball, sewing, the gaming, karaoke. Like, it's so much that goes into putting together this one event. And then not only that, the most important thing is the staff. Having the right people around that engages with the youth. Having shout out to Zebra. He came and did like some cooking classes, right? Partnering with local organizations who can come in and do some training and some trades as well. But to stay up from, and you know this, I have lupus. So like that, my body used to break down, staying up from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m., playing basketball, doing whatever, on top of the planning that comes along with that. One of the things that I wanted to highlight, this is what frustrates me the most. When you have a program that works, and instead of putting your support behind it, you try to take it and do whatever, right? The first lock-in we did, if I'm not mistaken, Shantia got data from the police department that showed the crime had decreased for a certain age group in that area when we held that lock-in.
There was and I don't think anything is a mistake. It just went to show the need, right?
Yes.
There was that shooting that happened.
In the Meadows.
Yeah, like almost a day prior or something like that. In the hours that we, because people were like, well, why y'all gonna have these kids here at night? There was questions and stuff, but then it's like, okay, somebody gets shot at 3:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
They was in this building, right? Having fun and with their peers and with some good people that wouldn't have been able to happen to them.
Yes.
Right? And so just proving, just getting your point proven in a wild, crazy way like that, unfortunately. But again, we still seeing this. Still seeing Water Street being tore up. Still seeing, stuff happen in the middle of the night with these young folks. The need is still there. All the programming that, that the city, I ain't gonna say the city, but that folks are pushing are all programs that end 10, 11 o'clock at the latest, right?
That's not when the stuff happens.
Man, so it has to have that support. There's no way around it. I understand people have these questions and everybody fearful, but again, you have to provide the space, or we know what it's going to look like when they provide space for themselves.
And if you're scared, go to church. Hello. One of the reasons why I was frustrated during my campaign, and I know this was a big reason why I wasn't elected, because I did not support the youth detention facility that is currently being built in District 9. And the reason why I brought this up is because it is imperative that people understand this is the same district we started the lock-in program in. These are the same youth that we were catering to, right? Yeah. So what would it look like to turn around and just, hey, let's do this? Because those are going to be the youth that they target. Again, these are not youth who are excelling, right? And it's not that we're not trying to assist them, but we're trying to get the youth that don't nobody want to deal with. Yeah. And by the time they come into these lock-in programs, I just seen Valencia a couple weeks ago, and she was dang near crying like, y'all don't understand how impactful the lock-in program was to my babies, right? I walk in Howard Fuller, like you said, you walk in places and you see that they are older now, and a lot of these kids this is coming out of the pandemic, so they had social skills issues, right? This helped with that. They were finding friends. They are, participating and stuff like that. So I say all of that to say it's very imperative that people, when something is working, let it work. Just support it. That's all you have to do. All you have to do is not going to kill you to just support it instead of trying to mimic it. Like, you can take the recipe, but it's not going to taste the same.
Man, people going to want the chef. They going
I promise.
It's a spicy bowl. These some fireballs that we got the original recipe to.
Yep.
But, unfortunately, with that, the way that things have gone in this city where it's scarcity, food deserts, no jobs, right? People are operating, even folks at the top, even folks in leadership are still operating from a hoarding type of spirit where it's like they missing a meal if they don't get every crumb or dollar that's out there, right?
Come on.
And we talking about crumbs, Jazz. Like, we ran a program for a year. Did we even have $10,000?
No, we barely touched $5.
Man, we made it happen we made a lot happen with a little, and that's what we talking about. I mean, that's the Black experience. Honestly.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, we were able to make that impact that really, really mattered. Right?
Yes.
And not only that, man, we were able to, make that vision touch even outside of this city. You need to lock in Memphis.
Yeah.
Folks there see the value in it. Like, we need this here.
Yeah.
And we've been asked to come to these different places. And do this. So again, with me and with you, it ain't never been about the recognition or money or necessarily. We just like doing
the work.
And the impact of it, because that's how we built, right?
Yep. But you do far. I appreciate the flattery, but you by far is the GOAT, because I don't have it in me to wake up in the middle of the night no more. And this man right here, sometimes I be so worried about you, bro. Like, you gotta rest, Vaughn. You gotta put yourself first, because we love our people, but our people will run you raggedy. I promise they will. And I know it's battle fatigue, like Chairman Fred said. You get drained, but this is why it's imperative to know when to fall back and just step up and support. This was your idea, and it's like, hey, we know people try to steal it before. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, nah, we're going to get behind you because you're doing the work. We all are doing the work in the way that we do it, but we know who's on the front lines 24/7, and that's you. So the best thing to do is, hey, how can I support? What you're doing, and we all can do it together. And that's something that people talk about collaboration, right? Come on now, we know who really want to collaborate and who don't.
How it go, though, Jazz. If you ain't in the in crowd, you know what I'm saying? You ain't part of the, the whatever it is that they got.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
We got it hard for you.
We got Von Mays in the building. Do not touch that dial. We got to go to break to pay some bills. It's your girl, Jazz Tyler.
Talking about guns with others might not always feel comfortable, but it could save a life. Here's a way to start a conversation. Your family is going over to your neighbor's home for dinner for the first time. How would you ask if there are any unlocked guns in the home?
Hey, we're so excited for tonight. Before we come over, though, may I ask if there are any unlocked guns in your home?
Our guns are stored securely, locked in a safe that the kids can't access.
Awesome.
Learn how to have the conversation at agreetoagree.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Wherever there's a need in our communities, there's a United Way. Improving lives so everyone can thrive. Where more people can gain access to healthcare and nutritious food for their tables. Where more community members can benefit from financial education and get connected to local resources for housing support. And where children are given more chances to reach their full potential. Community is where we find our strength and where we share our hope. United is the way. Visit unitedway.org.
Are people around me safe when I vape? Science does not support that belief. Exhaled vape emissions linger in the air, affecting indoor air quality and bystanders in the same space through secondhand exposure. Vaping emissions can also accumulate on clothes, hair, dust, and furniture, leading to exposure risks to bystanders of all ages. And vaping around a pregnant person can lead to serious health impacts on fetal and childhood development. Enough with the puff. Learn more at ul.org/vaping.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom, she started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Reading aloud to children sharpens their listening skills, expands their vocabularies, and nurtures a lifelong love of reading. That's why Reading is Fundamental, the nation's leading children's literacy nonprofit, offers free monthly read-alouds by popular authors through its Rally to Read program. Visit rallytoread.org to watch the read-alouds and discover exciting reading activities for school and home. Visit rallytoread.org today.
We just keep going, man. We don't stop. We just keep pushing, man.
101.7 The Truth. It's your girl Jazz Tyler. We are live and direct, and we got my good brother, my community brother, Von Mays in the building. Man, listen, if you know, you know. Before we went to break, we were giving some background about the We Locked In program that myself, Von, and Ray Nitty is a part of, with Von being the person to bring it to the forefront and us supporting his efforts. There's a host of things, though, right? Like not just the lock-in programs, not just ComForce, not just Program the Parks, not even just your current job, but the fact that people can actually call you in the middle of the night when they're going through something, and you will show up and, you know, for example, right now, you're battling something where your house caught on fire, and in the midst of this happening, you're still putting the people first. You're still showing up for people. You're still doing what Von Mays does. So my call to action today is that we all support him. We all support you and your family, right? I don't know if you want to get into the situation with, you know, your fiance and the baby and stuff like that, but it's been a lot the past year, and I just want people to pour into you. You're constantly pouring into people. It's time that we pour into you. So if you don't mind, just to kind of share information on how people can support with that.
Yeah. You know, I think, one, I want to say, you know, you asked about the beginnings, and I think one thing in leadership, people don't realize, or I think a lot of times it's even disregard.
Yeah.
For we are people too, right? With our own personal lives. So, you know, most people would probably know the past almost decade or so I've been battling the Fed case, right? So, you know, got through that hurdle, that hump, that would have taken a lot of people out, right?
8 years?
Yeah. Roughly took about 8 years to get through that. You know, and then last year I lost my son during the birth process.
Yeah.
Or the pregnancy, I would say. And then most recently the fire.
Yeah.
So still trying to show up every day.
Yeah.
You know, and people get mad at you if you don't answer their messages and but it's only 24 hours in a day, right?
Come on.
And like you said, man, we getting old. Getting older.
Listen,
man, them late night, we created a non-late night version of the lock-ins. Because, hey.
I'm trying to tell you. Oh, my gosh.
Man, so just one, people take that into account is our own humanity, right? In this role, because at the end of the day, you know, we only get, even with what we do get paid, it's nowhere near, honestly. I don't think any of us that are doing it at the level that, especially not being elected or being in these positions where we are obligated to do this stuff, right? Just one, take that into account. But two, you know, I appreciate that, you know, in a lot of things that have happened to me, I have like a circle of people who kind of band together and look out, like, and folks have done that, you know, as best as possible. But we all know, like, specifically with this house fire, right, the position that I am in, like, I can't just live anywhere, right? Then I have a family size that restricts me from, you know, I have to have a certain amount of space. And then since COVID, we all know the madness and the craziness of like rent going astronomical. You got to have certain credit score. You got to have certain times. All these different barriers that they put in the city of people who don't fit that.
Yeah.
Right. So there's just some things to take into account there that in the background people do struggle with.
Yeah.
And I myself, and that's one of the things that make me efficient with dealing with and helping other people is because we not too far removed. Some of this same stuff that we helping people with, we going through ourselves.
Yeah.
So, I just want people to take that into account. And, a couple of my people, shout out to Laura Gomez. She's recent to Conforce, but she threw me a fundraiser at Freight 38.
Mm-hmm.
I think they raised about $600 or so.
Yeah.
Liza Hurst, one of our longtime supporters and friends, created a GoFundMe that's circulating. I think so far that's raised like $500.
Mm-hmm.
But this happened literally right after the 4th. I think it was July 5th. So we're almost at the end of the month.
Yep.
Still in hotels right now.
Yeah.
Still looking for a place. So one, people can support and help by helping me find a place. If there's anybody out there that has property that, they can help us get in right away.
How many bedrooms you need?
At least 4.
Okay.
We got a family size of 6, 2 adults and 4 under 18 for kids. So at least a 4. Space, and then people can donate to any of those efforts, whether it's the GoFundMe or the other links that people can support us, because again, whether that's hotels, driving, and I apologize for being late. I had to drive
it's okay.
from the hotel all the way out in Mayfair.
Yeah.
So coming from far out, having to come back, to the city, so day to day, and still running around doing stuff.
People that battle fatigue.
Man, listen. And we try not to complain, Jazz. Like you go through health stuff, you've gone through a lot of stuff, and nobody knows nothing. You still show up every day, like,
Yeah.
And that's just part of, again, who we are and the position that we get put in leadership, because we got other people looking at us. We got other people that's counting on us. So we can't, even when we hurting, right?
Yeah.
We can't show that.
Cannot show it.
And listen, somebody gonna have to put together a real retreat for us to just go sit on the island
and not do nothing.
Yeah, man. Like, we deserve something like that, man. Like, it's the least that could be done. But
I'm glad we don't look like what we've been through, for real. Like, people, and thank you for saying that, because I don't say it, and I know that you don't complain either. And I think you just kind of become accustomed to it. It's like, if I'm all I'm a single mother. You know what I'm saying? Been divorced for 8 years. If I don't get up and do it, whether I'm hurting or not, it's not going to get done. Right. If you don't get up and do it because you're the provider, it's not going to get done. But most importantly, when you are walking in your calling, all else goes to the side. It doesn't matter what you're going through. You just have to figure out a way to make it happen. And that is sometimes it's the most difficult thing ever, right? To go through everything you just went through, from the miscarriage to planning a wedding. Congratulations to planning a wedding, to the house fire, amongst other things, because you have other children as well that you are raising. It's like it's a lot to carry. So again, when we have our people out here who are doing the work, make sure that we are supporting them in every way possible as well. It's not easy. The work that we do is not easy, let alone balancing it with our personal lives. Also, we got to go to break in 2 minutes, but before we do, I want to talk about the building, right? Yeah. How long it's been. So coming from growing up the way that you grew up, moving back up here, being homeless, going to the detention facilities, then fighting a Fed case, then being freed of that case, then getting engaged, having children, programmed apart, Conforce, we locked in. And 4 or 5 years later, you was blessed with a building. Yes, indeed. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to talk about this. We got to go to break to pay some bills. Do not touch that dial. We got Von Mays in the building, 101.7 The Truth.
Ready to take it back? Join the grand debut of Analog Afternoons at 90s 2K Cafe on Sunday, July 26th, starting at 2. Music kicks off at 4 p.m. with the Cat House Band and DJ Seymour bringing you the biggest hits from the 90s and 2000s. Grab a signature Bloody or a Sunny D Mosa Tower and get jiggy with DJ Saint Trey with special guest host appearance by Action Jackson. 90s 2K Cafe, 1103 Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Drive in Milwaukee. Come press play on your Sunday fun day.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
When I met both of them, it was like my missing pieces were found. Like it was just like an instant, these are my kids. If you're considering adopting a teen, just do it. Kids need families. I don't care the age, everybody deserves a family.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says,
avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, honey bear.
'Cause remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
I always had to be so good, no one could ignore me. Carve my path with data and drive. But some people only see who I am on paper. The paper ceiling, the limitations from degree screens to stereotypes that are holding back over 70 million stars. Workers skilled through alternative routes, rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time for skills to speak for themselves. Find resources for breaking through barriers at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you. Thank you.
Mommy, can I sit in the front seat just this one time? Please, please, please.
No, not yet.
But why?
Because I love you, and you're just not ready yet. Now, get in the back so I can get you in your car seat, please.
Putting your kids in the right seat for their age and size is an act of love. Check that your kids are in the right seat at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Love protects. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Milwaukee Black Talk lives here on 101.7 FM and 1510 AM, W269DL Milwaukee, and WGKB Waukesha.
Before she think I'm trying to set her up, she said she had a man and told my to get the but I be if I get turned down, baby, I'm not letting up. I just wanna dance.
101.7 The Truth. It's your girl Jazz Tyler. We are live and direct at the American Family Insurance Studio in the beautiful heart of downtown Milwaukee. At UWM, students don't have to wait until college to start building their future. Roar Ready lets students in K through 12th grade join in hands-on programs across campus, from science and tech to art, sports, and more. Students try new things, meet new people, and build skills that matters. Get started today at uwm.edu/roarready. Truth Nation, Milwaukee, happy Friday. We got my good brother Von Mays is in the building. Hey man, say man, if you know, you know. We was talking about the lock-in programs, Comforce, all of the above. But most recently, we've been able to obtain a building. You want to tap into what that looked like, where it's at, who all supported this, and it's been a long time coming.
Yeah. So we have what we refer to as LIFE Community Collective, which is the Locked In Forever. You know, it is not just a site, a brick and mortar site to host our lock-ins at, or for Comforce. It is also going to be used as a satellite office for DCWS, of course, because I work with them in that violence prevention lens. So, but then also we have 5-room agenda, everything from robotics and AI in collaboration with MSOE, arts and entertainment, trades and certifications through KCI and TAP. Shout out to Jadati. Civics and advocacy.
Yes.
And then wellness and etiquette.
Yes.
So those are the 5 points that we're going to focus on. Under robotics and AI, we talking about programming and software, app development, graphic design, coding and tech, website development, VR, and some other stuff. Arts and entertainment, we got photography, studio engineering, film, cinema, streaming, podcasts, audio production, intro to acting. Trades, my guy Jadati, he's doing a carpentry, HVAC, mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. And then we also are trying to add in entry to auto skills, where we'll be teaching. And I did see somebody actually have that in a program where they're teaching how to change a tire, change the oil, stuff like that. Landscaping, food safety cert. Civics and advocacy, Civics 101, Know Your Rights. We are relaunching our cultural library. Hopefully we'll have some debate in there. Somebody brought that
I'm
up.
excited about that. Listen.
First response training, crisis management training, CVI prevention training. Hopefully I'll be hosting some conversations and lectures on activism. Financial literacy, entrepreneurship, all that good stuff. And then lastly, the wellness and etiquette. We'll have meditation space, barber and beauty, spa, and then also using that space to de-escalate certain situations, working one-on-one with folks, dealing with hygiene, so having hygiene products for people who need them, doing those one-on-ones, emotional intelligence and management, and some other things as well.
Yes, and this building is located on MLK in Center, which is a very comfortable neighborhood for me. If you know, you know. But again, I am excited primarily because, you know, we both have played a part in building it up to this far, but you have done a lot even before that, before we started the lock-in program. And it's nothing like having your own. We're grateful for people like Nat and people who allowed us to utilize their space for the lock-in programs. But the benefit of having our own building is the fact that it's not just on a weekend or it's a one-off. It's like we can have programming 24/7 as much as we want to. Shout out to Alderwoman Cox too for supporting this, because this will be in the Bronzeville district. But I say all of that to say, we talk about programming, we talk about what's needed in the community. This is something that the community can support. Right now, what do we need?
Man. So we got a bunch of things in works. Again, shout out to that summer initiative with the county and the city and those partners with the Safe Summer Sites. We're waiting to launch our portion of that, which will be coming up soon. Hopefully, we still working some things out, getting ready for that launch. But then also, shout out to the aldermen and women who push for us to get some extra support through the CDBG and federal funds. We were awarded $20,000, trying to work that out to get access to that. But those are all to become later funds. Right now we're looking for that front end investment to finish painting the building. Me and Meech was just in here talking about getting the courts done.
Painting, we need people to help paint.
If you got I got 2 paint sprayers that I have no idea how to use, and I really need to use them. So if you know how and you are willing to donate that service and come teach me to know what I'm doing, so I don't mess nothing up, please come connect with Jazz. See, when as soon as that you can come out and help. Also putting together that spa and wellness room. We're hopefully put out a call to any barbers or stylists out there who got a chair they may want to donate. We trying to get at least up to 3 chairs for boys and young ladies. So when we throw events or even day to day, they can come in there and get their hair cut.
Yeah.
It'll be revolving barbers and not just get their hair cut. I'm talking about people building with them and
mentorship,
helping them decompress and seeing what's going on with them.
Yep.
If they need to vent about anything, they can do that on a one-on-one basis.
Yes.
Or they could do that with a collective.
And food pantry.
Yes. Can't forget Farina Brooks and Dream Team United Wisconsin. Which I'm on the board of, but they're also partners in this space. Where they'll be doing meals. Me and Michelle Pitts are reviving something that we started a couple years ago.
She's been a day one lock-in supporter.
Man, she's been a day one. She's a day one everything supporter.
She is.
She just got honored with citations and plaques from everybody from the governor on down to the mayor. So much love and shout out to her. But yeah, this space is just a total community hub, community centered, resident and stakeholder led space. It's not just like my space, right?
Yep.
I'm looking to bring in people who specialize in these different things. So if you got a skill that you want to teach these kids, teach teens, this is the space that we'll have activated to do it.
Yes.
We just gotta get it ready and get it prepared. So
the main thing outside of the furniture and stuff, so furniture is needed, but all hands on deck. Yes. Like in all seriousness, there is five classrooms, right?
Yep.
5 classrooms. Then we have the gym, which is also a theater. Yes. The kitchen, the stage, the office space. Man, and listen, it's a lot. It's a blessing, but it's a lot that has to be done. Yes. Vaughn is only one person. I be trying, y'all. I promise. I be trying on the weekends to help as much as I can. But we need all the help possible. So I think we were just talking offline about putting together a community event. And shout out to Anita Nicole. Anita says, can you hold an information session for people who want to support the space? I think like an open house information session.
So I've been doing that one-on-one with people. If you contact me, you got time, I'll run you through the building. There's a whole layout where you'll see what each room and the vision for it is. So folks can contact me on an individual basis, but I love to also do a group tour for folks, especially folks who could support, partner, or sponsor.
Yep.
There are each room also, you can give towards what our fundraising goal is, or if you cover that room, then you can have the name.
The name and rights. Yeah.
So there's ways you can contribute and be permanently sponsored and mentioned in the space. So.
Yeah, and if you are just joining us, we are talking about the building. Can you repeat the acronym and the title for those who are just joining us?
It is the LIFE Community Collective, which stands for Locked In Forever.
So this all stemmed from Program to Parks, from the We Locked In program. Now there's a building, and we're able to, and I say we because I'm going to support Vaughn every way. Like, we a team. That's just what it is.
Always.
We a team.
Whether you see us or not.
I promise you, we be doing the work behind scenes like a mug. But there's 5 rooms. Can you briefly go over again what those rooms are so people can begin to determine where they can support?
Robotics and AI, which will be led by MSOE. Arts and Entertainment, Trades and Certifications, which will be led by TAP and Jadati and his folks. Civics and Advocacy, and then Wellness and Etiquette.
Okay, and shout out to the chat. Madi said he can teach them everything they need to know about home improvement and cars. Okay. So that's dope. So Madi, can you call in 833-212-1017 and give Meech and Zach your contact information so that we can reach out sometime this weekend or next week. But again, these are solutions, right? And it's community led. And I wouldn't be who I am, if you know, if I had not said this. We want to make this community based as possible. What that means is a lot of organizations start out with pure intentions, but eventually they have to start partnering with other entities and organizations because the lack of support from the community, right? So I say that to say, although we do, appreciate partnerships, the main piece to this is the community. We cannot do this without you all. What does that look like? Even if we know it's rough out here, even if you can't assist financially, show up. Cook a meal, help paint, help clean, help plant some flowers, help paint the building on the outside, help run or facilitate a workshop. Whatever it is, we need the community involved. And again, man, congratulations, Vaughn, for real.
Congratulations. It's a long time coming.
It's for real.
And you already know how I am. Anything that I get, we get.
Yeah.
And that's just how it's supposed to go. But only for people that has that same
absolutely
built into them. So yeah, I'm excited.
I am too.
Listen, I am busting my tail. My fiance works at third shift. So
Yeah.
every time I take her to work, I'm usually heading down there
To the building. Yeah.
Sometimes I work till 10. Sometimes I work till 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
So just trying to get it together. And like I said, piece it together, and folks can donate their time, even if it's to help me. Like I just packed in a bunch of stuff from a donor today, where all that stuff is just sitting in the gym. So somebody got to go upstairs, and I'm like, I ain't finna go up these stairs.
Yeah. And we do have there is a flyer that we can share as well on social media, inviting youth, and there's small stipends for youth who want to come and join and assist as well.
Yeah, shout out to DCWS. They've been super supportive.
Yes.
They gave the initial support for youth to be able to help us and assist us in putting that together. We've had some youth here and there, helping me paint, helping me carry stuff around. So that's dope as well, to be able, even before we get to start doing the actual work, that the opportunity is there.
Absolutely.
You're gonna be a part of putting the space together. So
absolutely.
If you got some kids or teens that need something to do,
put them to work.
Hey, bring them. Let's knock it out.
Put them to work. We got to go to break to pay some bills. Do not touch that dial. We got Von Mays in the building. It's going down 101.7 The Truth.
In sitcoms, when someone has a problem, they just blurt it out and move on.
Well, I lost my job and my parakeet is missing. How was your day?
But the real world is different. Managing life's challenges can be overwhelming. So, what do? We get support. The Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council have mental health resources available for you at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. See how much further you can go when you take care of your mental health.
For 250 years, our armed forces have bravely served America. Wounded Warrior Project honors that legacy by supporting post-9/11 service members and veterans like Anthony, a Marine who was injured by a roadside bomb in Afghanistan.
They carried me through my injuries, not just my physical, but my mental. And seeing other vets doing the same thing helped me tell myself, hey, you can do this.
Join us in honoring warriors at woundedwarriorproject.org/America.
In the United States, a vehicle is stolen every 31 seconds, about as long as this message. Luckily, you can take a few easy steps to protect your car in the same amount of time. Remove your valuables, roll up your windows, don't leave your car running unattended, lock your doors, and take your keys or fob. If you have information about a crime, call the police. If you suspect insurance fraud, also call 800-TEL-NICB. A public service message from the National Insurance Crime Bureau.
I always had to be so good, no one could ignore me. Carve my path with data and drive. But some people only see who I am on paper. The paper ceiling, the limitations from degree screens to stereotypes that are holding back over 70 million stars. Workers skilled through alternative routes, rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time for skills to speak for themselves. Find resources for breaking through barriers at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is, my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakimick, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
And here's Heather with the weather.
Well, it's beautiful out there, sunny and 75, almost a little chilly in the shade. Now, let's get a read on the inside of your car. It is hot. You've only been parked a short time and it's already 99 degrees in there. Let's not leave children in the back seat while running errands. It only takes a few minutes for their body temperatures to rise, and that could be fatal.
Cars get hot, fast, and can be deadly. Never leave a child in a car. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Okay, on that fresh car tip, yeah. Go take cardigan, Virgin Mary flowers, say I pull up fishes here.
101.7 The Truth. It's your girl Jazz Tyler. We are live and direct at the American Family Insurance Studio in the beautiful heart of downtown Milwaukee. And we have a special guest in the building. My good brother, Von Mays, is here, ladies and gentlemen. It is going down. We are currently talking about the building that has been a blessing. It's been a long time coming. Von was able to secure a building, which means that we officially have a place to do programming out of. This is important because it is a call to action. A lot of people complain about the youth. A lot of people may or may not be aware of the programming and the things that we have done and currently do. But this is a start. If you're looking to get involved, please reach out to myself or to Von. We need people to assist with painting. We need people to assist with cleaning, with furniture. Again, Von, can you go over the 5 pillars in the rooms that will be set up?
Yeah, the LIFE Community Collaborative, Locked In Forever. We got robotics and AI, led by MSOE, with programming and software, app development, graphic design, coding and tech, website development, VR. We have arts and entertainment, where hopefully we'll be doing photography, studio engineering, film, cinema, streaming, podcast, audio production, intro to acting, and some more things as well. Trades and certifications through KCI and TAP. Mm-hmm. Carpentry, HVAC, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, entry to auto skills, landscaping, and food safety cert.
Yes.
Civics and advocacy, civics 101, know your rights, cultural library, debate, first response training, crisis management, CVI, prevention training, activism, financial literacy, entrepreneurship, and some more things once we get that together. Wellness and etiquette is the final space with meditation space, barber and beauty, spa, de-escalation through decompression, hygiene, 101s, and emotional intelligence and management.
Yes. That is so. If you just heard that is a lot, right? That means that this is something that as of now is all put on just a couple of people, 2 to 3 people, right? So again, we're looking for community assistance to come out and assist us. What's your social media, Von?
Von L Mays, VAUNLMAYES on Facebook. That's predominantly where I'm at day to day. But then we also have, I think I created a Facebook page for the Life Center.
Shout out to Madi. Madi just called in. He says he's going to assist us with home improvement and cars. Listen, thank you for that, Von. And thank you, Von, for introducing that to the program, because oftentimes I talk about the fact that I only know one mechanic our age. That's George. Shout out to King George on social media, right? But I don't see a lot of youth becoming mechanics anymore. And to the youth that is listening, especially the young men, let me tell you something. Don't no woman want no man that don't even know how to change no tire, okay? If I get a flat and you can't come to my rescue, baby, I'm going to find somebody who can. So y'all, and not even just that, you want to make sure that you know what to do and how to properly operate a car, especially in today's world. So again, shout out to Madi for being willing to work with us on that. So with everything that has been created and everything that's in the process, what do you think Milwaukee needs more of as it pertains to the programming and the youth?
Spaces.
Mm-hmm.
That has been the number one need, because, people always say, well, it's stuff for them to do. But to be honest, again, most of those spaces are limiting the young people that they work with. And most times you can believe more so than not, they're working with young people who don't need that help necessarily.
Yes.
So we need more spaces that are community or resident led and accessible.
Mhm.
For instance, places like, when we didn't have our own space, there were a few places that were like, we got the space, you can come do it here.
Yeah.
So more spaces like that, we definitely, and it depends on what you're doing and who's hosting that. I think people need to be more intentional in those spaces about who they're bringing in to work with the young people. So,
and shout out to Anthony McHenry at MAS too, because they actually called us to do one there. So we do lock-ins for schools as well.
That's been one of the other plans we didn't get to really enact. And, MPS need to come to the table at some point, or more charter and private schools as well, to have that collaboration. We can even do them specifically for their students. Right?
Yes,
and that way we could focus on. If they have students who need more assistance and help, if they have more students who even need, more focus and more support, even academically, right? We can be able to address those things while drawing them in with the incentives and, and the entertainment. So
absolutely. And to your point earlier, my biggest pet peeve when it comes to the programming and the youth is that it becomes like this cult cliquish thing, right? Where it's like some organizations, when they invite youth, they end up, grooming them to be a part of or to be whatever it is that they want them to be instead of just allowing them to be themselves. That's why, again, it is a big shout out to Nat and to spaces like that where it's just an open space for a youth to come and there is no agenda. Right? That's what this building is. There is no agenda. We're not trying to get them to conform to anything. Now, this is no slight to those organizations, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it needs to be a balance. There needs to be a space where the youth can come and there is no attachments. They're coming just because they come, right? We had it when we was growing up. And also, one of the issues is that a lot of the structured as it pertains to organizations, some organizations is outdated. So it fits their mission statement fits maybe a decade ago. You know what I'm saying? But right now, these youth are on a different type of time. So if you have an organization in the space and you're looking to, bring them in, understand that you may have to make some adjustments because the youth are different nowadays. There is no youth who just want to go to, there is some youth at the Boys and Girls Club, like that's still going, but for the youth who don't attend those or who age out, there is nowhere for them to go. And when they mention certain businesses, it's like they're not going to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, being able to recognize that is a skill. Even in CVI and violence prevention, you have folks who, once they start throwing fists or weapons come out, then you recognize it's a problem. But then there are people who long before that, they can tell when there's tension in the air. They can tell when two groups are starting to, rile up. And, you need people who have very specific skill sets to deal with certain things. Even you having like people like Monique, right?
Yep.
Who specializes in mental health with young people. Like, that was dope to see her work and do what she specializes in and just jump in, right, and be effective, right?
Yep.
That's not something we me or you
we're trying to do. Exactly.
But we provided space and made sure that someone was there who that's what they do.
Yep.
Right? So.
And I'm glad we're having this conversation because again, a lot of people don't know the work that we work together so closely behind scenes. Not even behind scenes. Like the people that know we work. I'm just a behind the scenes person who just popped back out. That's all. But the reason why it was so imperative for me to for us to talk about this is because I want us to be a reflection of what it means to actually work together in the community, right? And we're talking, I'm a woman, Von's a man. Von is someone who I can lean on at any given time for anything, advice. He really be helping me not crash out a lot. Y'all just don't even understand. Y'all know I'm a retired crash out.
Hey, and that's something to say because I used to be the crash out, but I started, hey, man, Jazz, hey, you got me beat. Look.
Listen, like I'm telling you, it's so refreshing because at the end of the day, we talked about this earlier this week. Your circle matters. And yesterday, you have to have certain people around you for a specific goal. And the beauty in being able to have healthy relationships in the community is to say, hey, this is my weak point. This is your strong point. You know what I mean? I may not can do this, but I can do this, and I can stay in my lane. Everybody stay in their lane, and then we just merge the resources together. And there is no ego. There is no pride. There is no secret competition. It's simply like, we know that this needs to be done. Whichever way you can help, you know what I'm saying? And I appreciate that for real, especially working in a male-dominated industry. It's so difficult to work with some men sometimes because everything is ego-driven, or I got to take the lead. And Vaughn be like,
hey, I don't, whoever is the best equipped to lead, listen, I don't want to do everything. Please take some of this off my hands.
No, for real. And that's how it should be. So I encourage those who are familiar or aren't familiar with the work that we have done throughout the years to, find your tribe, right? Find your tribe of people. We had Darius on here yesterday. Shout out to Darius Miles. Darius used to come, and him and Rodney Buford, Milwaukee's own, they were a part of Tay Day.
Yes.
You know,
hopefully we can bring Tay Day back this year. We missed last year.
Yeah.
So.
And for those who don't know about Tay Day, can you tap into that so that we can bring it back?
Yeah. Shout out to Barbara Thomas, who is Tay's mom. Tay was a young person who, when we worked at Moody Park, we kind of had cleaned up Sherman for a bit, and the young people migrated to a different space. Moody became the next thing that was starting to, get crazy. And so when we started to centralize our work there, Tay was one of the young people who immediately came up like, what's going on? What is this? And she was 20, she was, older.
Like 20, yeah.
She wasn't a teenager, but, she was super invested. And somebody that we leaned on to be like, she knew everybody. She kind of was like bringing us all up. We should do this. Y'all should do that. Y'all should do that. And she helped us put together the first basketball tournament that we did. And unfortunately, she was shot and killed the next day at the park.
Yeah.
So we created Tay Day as a means to honor and bring awareness to her homicide.
Yes.
Because there still has not been anyone arrested for that. So we want to be able to continue to keep their family lifted up. And, and that story told, because she was super invested for her peers, and
at such a young age.
Yes.
And we have, I love Tay Day. I remember one of the, I can't remember if it was the second or third one. We had chicken there. Shout out Chicken P, free
was
chicken.
Was that the first one?
That it was at.
No, it wasn't the first. It
that
was
the second one.
It was the second one.
Yep. And it was every time we do it outside, it rains. We got to pivot and find a gym inside.
Well, we found a rickety gym in the middle of the hood.
Yes.
They was like, y'all got hot sauce in the middle of the hood.
Oh, yeah, we had hot sauce from N1 stuff through, and shout out to Ivory Latta from the WNBA. She was
the last one we did?
Yep. Yes. She was the last one. And Helen Johnson, a Milwaukee basketball legend. We had so many people who supported this, and we want to continue to do it. So again, it's just a testament to all of the work that goes on that some people may know about, some may not know, but we don't get paid, right? We don't have funding from the city, from the government, from anything. This is stuff that we do. We don't even pay ourselves when we do get sponsorship. Everything goes to jerseys. It goes to bringing coaches here. It goes to
supporting Black businesses, supporting Black film and media to cover the events, to make sure we have media there. I mean, it's invested back into the community, the people, the young folks. And a lot of those dollars are put into our, the city to, when we bring folks here, they they flight, they hotel and all that. So
come on.
Yeah, man, we helping the community in all different phases and fashions.
I'm telling you.
And being a brand outside of here, right?
Yeah.
Bringing those folks in and having them like, yeah, Milwaukee took care of me.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a great experience.
Exactly. And the dope part about having the community, one of the reasons why I love the fact that the community was supporting the lock-ins as well as the Tay Day is because when Black people pay for something, they take it serious. I gave them some money. Now I'm a part of it too. We got to go to break to pay some bills. Do not touch that down. We got Von Mays in the building. It's your girl, Jazz Tyler.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, honey bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
When a warrior faces adversity, he fights through it. He finds a way. Freedom isn't free. Rolling strong. Belief. Believe you can, and you will.
Wheelchairs for Warriors provides mobility solutions to veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Join the mission and visit wheelchairsforwarriors.org.
Here's the deal. We gotta set ourselves up. See, retirement is the long game. We gotta make moves and make them early. Set up goals. Don't worry about a setback. Just save up and stack up to reach them. Let's put ourselves in the right position. Pre-game to greater things.
Start building your retirement plan at thisispretirement.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
For 75 years, the Muscular Dystrophy Association's voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
For 75 years, we've willed the impossible into existence.
For 75 years, the MDA community has pushed the science,
shifted the narrative, and established the field of neuromuscular medicine.
And until that day when this is all a thing of the past,
you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
You can't buy a best friend. You can love them, walk them, pet them, and care for them, whether they want you to or not. You can take a picture or 50. You can fly to the moon, travel the world, or just stay in bed. You can't buy a best friend like that, but you can adopt one. There are millions of pets waiting for a best friend just like you. Help us save them all at bestfriends.org.
Talking about guns with others might not always feel comfortable, but it could save a life. Here's a way to start a conversation. Your family is going over to your neighbor's home for dinner for the first time. How would you ask if there are any unlocked guns in the home?
Hey, we're so excited for tonight. Before we come over, though, may I ask if there are any unlocked guns in your home?
Our guns are stored securely, locked in a safe that the kids can't access.
Awesome.
Learn how to have the conversation at agreetoagree.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
UNITY, that's a unity. UNITY, love a black man from Infinity to Infinity. Who you calling them?
One-on-one 101.7 The Truth. It's your girl Jazz Tyler. We are live and direct. Get ready, Milwaukee. 101.7 The Truth Fest is back. Join us Saturday, August 22nd from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Riverside University High School for free back-to-school resources, live entertainment, family activities, and community fun. Vendors and sponsors can reserve a spot by visiting truthfamilyfest.com or by reaching out to Sierra, Brown at MilwaukeeBlackMedia.com. Proudly sponsored by Educators Credit Union, American Family Insurance, Milwaukee Public Schools, artists working in education, and Incision. Truth Nation, thank you so much for tapping in with us. We got a special guest, my good brother Von Mays is in the building. We were going over some programming as well as a new building that we have on MOK and Center where we will be operating out of, and we need all of the support. We've talked about the community, but I want to talk about the music, man. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know that you are an artist. There you go.
Yeah. That was my original roots before I did all this stuff.
Yeah.
Definitely put that on the back burner to do this, but it's always still been.
Yeah.
That's my real. When I'm not doing the work, I'm trying to. That's almost my therapy.
Yes,
you know
and you can sing and rap.
I can do a little.
I'm
more of a writer, man. I'm more.
Yeah.
I used to write for a lot of R&B artists back in the day. So, local people, nobody major, but that's a passion of mine.
Yeah.
So I just used to write for a lot of people. They didn't do nothing with the material. So I'm like, I'm gonna start.
Yep.
Might as well.
So how has the arts in general been influential in your life growing up, and how important is it for us to continue to reintroduce the arts to the youth today?
I think the arts is the most important tool that we have today because it has such a hold in a lot of people's lives.
Yeah.
Like some people, got to get up and listen to something.
Yeah.
Some people got to go to sleep listening to something.
Yeah.
Some people, we know music changes folks' moods and help them through certain things. And so, again, having the Big Franks, having, the folks that have come through the lock-ins and stuff like that, who we know these young people are listening to their message, right? Be able to give back and be able to take that responsibility, because as artists we are responsible for what we put out.
Yep, that's right.
And so having them take that power and understanding the leverage and power that they have in these young people's lives has been super dope.
Yeah.
Because Frank and them want to do a lot of community stuff. Zebra and everybody around them have been trying to give back more. And do stuff for the kids in this city, and that's been a dope thing to see. So we got to lean on that more, and support them in doing that kind of stuff.
Absolutely, it's mandatory, right? And again, going back to the lock-in programs, we was able to get the Chicken Peas and Big Frank and Lil RBs and Steve the Stoners, right? And again, no matter how anyone feels about artists and their music, these is who the babies look up to. These are the people who are influencing the children, and when they show up, they provide that message. So again, I agree. The arts program is extremely important. I do appreciate the schools who still offer it, because a lot of schools don't offer it any longer. But for those that do, I'm glad. I appreciate it. It worked for me as a youth. It kept me out of trouble. It kept me out of got me into trouble, kept me out of trouble. But today it is therapy. So again, just want to give you your flowers, Vaughn, for all the work that you do. I know how tired you be mentally, physically, all of that. I get it.
Yeah. Man, sometimes it's good that we live in a time where people are giving that stuff while we still here. Again, grateful that the city and different folks have showed up for me and some of the major things I have gone. From the protests outside the jail, the murals.
Let's talk about it. It was going down.
Man, we've had some historic runs and some historic things, and that's why we got to continue to control our narratives and tell our stories, so that stuff don't get lost. Because we've accomplished some real stuff.
Yes,
to see, you, Ray, all the different people from back where we started, right?
Yep.
And to see where we have gotten
now,
it's inspirational for people who can hear and see those things from point A to point B. So.
And a lot of this was pre-social media.
Thank you.
A lot of this was pre-social media, so nobody, I remember there was a picture floating around, excuse me, that my sister had of me with a bullhorn. My kids seen it. I had to be about 22. My two oldest seen it, and then my youngest daughter seen it, and she was like, Mom, what is this? I don't know this version of you. Who is this? But not only that, just looking back, because oftentimes I have to force myself to reflect, primarily because I don't think people understand the trauma that comes from being inside the movement. The trauma that comes from dealing with families who are losing loved ones or have lost loved ones. Shout out to Sheena, which is Sade Robinson's mom.
Yes.
When that first happened, we would be on the phone at 2 or 3 in the morning. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? All the time, and she's doing a great job of keeping her daughter's legacy alive. The Derek Williams case, we sat in that courtroom every single day, and even before that, we was marching and it was freezing outside. Dontre Hamilton, Corey Stingler. There's been so many families, so many situations, not to mention dealing with the battle fatigue of our brothers and sisters. Brothers and sisters. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
The weight that comes with having a big heart.
Yeah.
The weight that comes with wanting to see the good in everybody, but everybody not wanting to see you succeed.
Yeah.
It really it messed me up a lot. So much to the point where I took a step back. Like, I still was doing stuff behind the scenes, but I took a step back because it was so much, right? And then we get to 2016 and Seville Smith. That situation happened. And I was pregnant at that time with Callie, so I couldn't do too much. But I think that was our era. We talked about, Ernest Lacey. We know about, shout out to Cecil. We know about what happened to Ernest Lacey. I remember when I was a child and my auntie Netta lived on the apartment building on Wisconsin, and she was right there when it happened to him. So I remember hearing those stories. And when all of that stuff happened in 2016, it was like that was our, it was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot. And the reason why I say that is because we know what happened with you, but there was also people sent here to cause division amongst the activism and amongst the community activists. And these are stories that people are not aware of. There were people literally sent in to disrupt us and pin us against each other so that we wouldn't do whatever it is that we needed to do. And guess what? It didn't work. It did not work. If anything, it exposed who was who and what the agenda was. But we talking battle fatigue, right? We talking about stories that people don't know about. We talking about the trauma, the triggers, wanting what's best for your people, getting up late at night, marching, protesting, getting arrested. Man.
Yeah. I mean, that's all still. And we need to be able to, it's bad enough we don't learn enough history in our schools, but our local history.
Yes.
The people that we have walking around who are walking, living history, right? A lot of people don't know, and, that it does a disservice to us as a community and the people not to know that, right?
Yeah.
So, we got to be intentional about that. So part of the space, and shout out to Michelle Piss again, doing that at the Holocaust Museum, I believe, that layout that I believe Marielle Dickens helped her do with the different figures and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That'll be something that we implement in the space to highlight different individuals and talk about their story and their accomplishments. That's so when kids walk down these halls, they can see people's faces, and then when they're out, they can recognize and know their stories, know who they seeing and know who they interacting with.
Absolutely. It was so funny, and I was thinking about this. Art, shout out to Art. He used to be a lawyer. He was real big with the Cuba Coalition. But I remember we was protesting one day. He's an older, I think he's like from Spain or something. He had a white or Spanish, but man, he was like, "Hey, Jazz, I'm down to support, but I didn't sign up for this." They was taking us in, detaining us. Like they was telling us to stay on the sidewalk. We like, man, we not trying to hear none of that. Like, I thought I was cracking up. Like, listen, if you scared, stay on the sidewalk. You'll be all right. But I am very appreciative of our brother-sister relationship, of our community relationship, of the work you put in, of the work I put in, of the work multiple people have put in that we don't often talk about. And I hope that, one day people acknowledge and accept the work that has been done, because a lot of people don't like to, not saying we do it for the accolades, but when I think about it, it's like it's a lot that went in, sacrifice and risk.
I believe in getting credit you deserve.
Yeah.
And that's for anybody. The work that you put in, you did that, and you deserve everything behind, especially if it got to, again, push the envelope or put us in a better position historically. Or,
absolutely.
People need to be recognized for that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And because it's not, we need to make that type of stuff the norm.
Yeah.
If people don't know, right, then they can't be inspired to do the same thing.
Exactly.
Right now, you got people who just like, oh, they be on the news, or they get a lot of views, so I want to do that for that.
Yeah.
No, you need to be able to do that at a level and from a place that you want to see progress happen.
Absolutely. We got Von Mays in the building. This our last bill, y'all. Do not touch that dial. It's your girl Jazz Tyler, 101.7 The Truth.
Looking for fun, adventure, and family-friendly activities this summer? Discover Milwaukee's Urban Ecology Center with locations in Riverside Park, Washington Park, and Menominee Valley. Explore hiking trails, family programs, outdoor adventures, community events, and opportunities to connect with nature right in your neighborhood. Whether you're looking for a weekend adventure or a summer-long experience, Urban Ecology Center has something for everyone. Learn more and register today at urbanecologycenter.org. Nature is closer than you think.
In Milwaukee County, equity means making sure everyone has a real chance to thrive. That's why the Milwaukee County Office of Equity works to help remove barriers, strengthen community connections, and support fair access to opportunities across Milwaukee County. Want to learn what they do, explore resources, or find ways to get involved? Just search Milwaukee County Office of Equity online. Milwaukee County Office of Equity, advancing equity for all Milwaukee County residents. For more information, search Milwaukee County Office of Equity online.
Freedom has a history. Come experience it. Visit the Milton House Museum, Wisconsin's only certified Underground Railroad site open to the public. Tour the historic 1844 Inn, step down into the cellar, and walk through the underground tunnel in the footsteps of freedom seekers who risked everything on their journey to liberty. Hear powerful stories of courage, sacrifice, hope, and determination, and discover Wisconsin's connection to the Underground Railroad and the fight for freedom. Guided tours of the Milton House are available Tuesday through Sunday through Labor Day weekend. Learn more at miltonhouse.org.
Wherever there's a need in our communities, there's a United Way, improving lives so everyone can thrive. Where more people can gain access to health care and nutritious food for their tables. Where more community members can benefit from financial education and get connected to local resources for housing support. And where children are given more chances to reach their full potential. Community is where we find our strength and where we share our hope. United is the way. Visit unitedway.org.
Are people around me safe when I vape? Science does not support that belief. Exhaled vape emissions linger in the air, affecting indoor air quality and bystanders in the same space through secondhand exposure. Vaping emissions can also accumulate on clothes, hair, dust, and furniture, leading to exposure risks to bystanders of all ages. And vaping around a pregnant person can lead to serious health impacts on fetal and childhood development. Enough with the puff. Learn more at ul.org/vaping.
One on 1.7 The Truth. It's your girl Jazz Tyler. Truth Nation, it's your chance to win. We are giving away a pair of tickets to Black Arts Fest MKE, happening Saturday, August 1st at Summerfest grounds in Milwaukee. Don't miss an unforgettable day of music, culture, art, food, and community featuring artists such as the Lattimore Brothers and Dave Hollister live on stage. Listen every day for your cue to call and score your pair of tickets. Black Arts Fest MKE, Saturday, August 1st at the Summerfest grounds, brought to you by award-winning 101.7 The Truth, Milwaukee Black Talk. Listen, Truth Nation, thank you so much for tapping in with us today. We had an incredible conversation with my dear brother Von Mays. We went over his story, his life. Shout out to all the Burlock babies too. Just one time, and I do that because I understand you, Meech, like all of us. We were raised a certain way. You know, it's no slight to whatever your hood is, but I don't know. I just know that people are Burlock was raised differently with a sense of community. But we went over your life story. We went over Program the Parks, ComForce. We locked in the new building that we have, all of the above. What is your call to action for the city of Milwaukee, Von?
Oh, man. I mean, we cover so much that people can, one is just, doing what you can, like whatever your expertise is and what you can give.
Yes.
Do that.
Yeah.
That's a start. Like people have different things that they could be given.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times we hoard that.
Yeah.
But these young people want it. I mean, we saw Kia Boys documentary where the young man was saying he wanted to take HVAC.
Yes.
And I was like, whoa, okay. And
you would have never known.
Right. A lot of these people see these young people and don't even think to, like I said, I'm glad people didn't look at me that way.
Yeah.
Like when I was wilding out here in the streets, it was certain people who was like, you ain't got nowhere to stay? I got you.
And you
ain't
know
got no
what?
job? I got you.
Real quick story. Do you remember that we worked with the very first Kia Boy, Mike Edwards?
Yes.
A lot of people
that
don't
went
know
viral.
Yep. We worked with.
Now I gotta go see what. Hopefully I can look him up and hopefully he's doing well today. But that was the whole Canon.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. In 2015, I believe, or 14. But he stole the vehicle from a lot off like Mill Road and Sherman, and got the paws put on him, and but that he was like the real life first Kia Boy. And we reached out to him, started working with him, even when he was locked up, got out. Like, he was trying to stay on the right path. But yeah, like when I say we've done a lot.
I forgot about that. That's crazy.
Yeah, we've done a lot. We even pitched something to, I believe, Shantia mentioned it about the Milwaukee Mile.
Yeah.
About having them do.
Are they actually doing something with that now? Because I think I've heard that come back up recently.
I'm not sure, but I know that we pitched it in 2022 to have them go and learn how to race cars there. And when I moved to Arizona, I was working for the casinos down there, and they have actually training on how to race car. We was trying to do a partnership with them and all of that stuff. But yeah, I just thought of Mike when you said that, like, dang, we really was working with the first Kid Boy ever.
It was little, super little and young too.
Man. We gotta find Mike
Well,
Edwards.
Y'all gonna say Kid Boys.
We worked with the very first Kid Boy ever.
Right.
Mike
the
Edwards.
first one that was like
Caught.
Right.
Okay.
2014.
Should I call him on y'all or what we
Hey,
doing?
listen.
No, we do. You know, because Mike his name is Mike Edwards. I don't know where Mike is, but if you're listening, please reach out to us on social media because he did try to change his life around. When we got a hold of him, I promise you that he tried to change his life around and he ended up getting back into trouble.
What's crazy, and that's the thing, man. Like I said, even myself, I did a lot of stuff that a lot of people would, if it would have been in this time, they would not want anything to do with me. But so many, I ain't gonna say so many. It was a few people who looked past that and like, you ain't crazy.
Yeah.
You know, you ain't that type of, and these kids are not them type of kids.
Yeah.
If you have a conversation with them, or if you meet with them, like when we go in Vale Phillips and have actual conversation with them, a lot of them are brilliant. They got plans, they got different things, but when they out here, they feel like this is what
it's all they have.
You know? And so we gotta, again, that's why it's important, like you said, for certain people and certain things to be happening out here, because you can foster that and divert people away from that.
Yes, and people don't understand, just because we don't broadcast it don't mean the relationships aren't there. Doesn't mean we're not doing what, you know, we've been doing. And honestly, what I enjoy is, like you said earlier, these youth know who be pump faking. So no matter what you do or how you try to spin it, they gonna rock with the real. They gonna rock with the people that's been in their corner from the beginning. So again, shout out to all of the youth. Shout out to those who are on the front lines, and whatever your lane is. And my call to action would be two things. One, to make sure that we support our brother Vaughn and what he's going through right now, because he always supports the community. And we need y'all to pull up, man. What's the address, Ma?
2628 MLK. Can't miss it. It's a huge church. It's fenced in, right off the center.
It's the old Clara Muhammad School next to the post office. We need y'all to reach out on social media, right? Call in, whatever it is you need to do, please. 833-212-1017. Hit us up on Facebook or Instagram. But we need people to assist with helping us clean, paint. We need furniture. We need barber chairs. We need studio equipment. We need so much stuff.
Yes.
Right?
In a short time, because we are getting ready to start receiving this funding and start activating, but we still need the space activated with everything that we need. So we have a fundraising goal of 8,000. If we can get to 5, I believe I can get everything done even with that. So if you can contribute, or if you have those in-kind skills, if you got furniture that can go in there, you know, just reach out and see what the mock-ups are and what the vision is. And if you got something that could contribute to it, you know, then, you know, let's get it done.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Troop Nation, for tapping in today. Make sure y'all tune in tomorrow for the morning show with Homer Blow and Bailey Coleman, followed by Shervin Hughes and the lunch break with Ray Nitty and Shannon, and then our brother Manon for the Grapevine. And circle back to Tap In, the real Tap In, MKB with your girl Jazz Tyler. Make sure y'all have an incredible, safe weekend. I will see y'all on Monday. Much love and respect, Truth Nation. 101.7 The Truth.
Break daddy off a piece of that. Flow rider said get it low, but baby, can you drop it like a 6'4"? Drop it like a 6'4".